Hello, everybody, and welcome, all you little hellions, to Roll20 Presents, etc., Descent into Avernus. It's nice to see you. I'm excited to play Dungeons & Dragons. How's everybody doing? Are we doing good? We holding up? Are we better than being submerged in the pits of hell, at least?
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this about this adventure and Dungeons & Dragons in particular. It does make hell seem pretty cool. Well, how are we all spending our time in these strange ages? Dave, are you fingers crossed for an early copy of Final Fantasy?
Yeah. I mean, we got that announcement. Like, we're just going to mail those out. And when you get them. Try not to spoil it. I'm like, what's going to stream? Yeah, I'm probably still going to stream it.
I saw that Atlas put out another one of those don't stream warnings for the new Persona game.
For Royal.
Yeah. A game that already came out a while ago. I never understood that, and I still don't. And
Atlas,
I mean, I guess.
Sake. Come on.
Yeah. I read the Square announcement where they were like, please. But if you don't, whatever, but please. We know it's a very old game. So,
yeah,
maybe you think there's already spoils out there, but there's lots of new stuff. Please don't spoil it.
It's a nice one, actually, comparing it to the Atlas one. It's like, we were worried that people weren't going to get the game on time. So we're doing this. Mm-hmm. So please don't take advantage of us trying to be nice to you. So I'm like, I'm probably going to try and do that and spoiler tag the things and don't put titles of the stream that relate to. It's like, oh, we're going to go and fight the secret boss, Don Corneo's grandpa.
Yeah, right. It is tricky, but it's cool that we're potentially going to get it early. That's kind of cool of them. Yeah,
it makes up for the secret reboot of the Final Fantasy Tactics series.
I saw you tweet about that
horrific gacha game.
Well, no,
God, there's such a good game under there, and people worked so hard on all the systems. But the entire start menu, you've got character art, sick, 20 billion different kinds of daily login rewards and prize spins and guaranteed ultra rare. I was looking at it, I was like, okay, the lowest rarity you can get is rare. Mm-hmm. I don't know if ultra or super or mega is the next tier. And then I don't even know what SSR stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it like you're really speaking another language right now. I have no idea what you're saying.
It was really disappointing.
So I was gonna say, so before we move on and give Blue Jay the attention she so clearly is in requirement of, Dave, I wanted your opinion. Bravely Default 2. Is it going to be good or is it going to be no good? What do you think?
For a specific kind of person who really liked the gameplay of Final Fantasy 5 and the other Bravely games, it looks pretty good, but it's still really early.
It's
the balance needs.
It's the third one, right? Because there was Bravely Default and then Bravely Default that wasn't Bravely Default 2.
Second,
right?
And Bravely Default 2. And the confusing thing is, Bravely Second is the sequel to Bravely Default, but Bravely Default 2 has nothing to do with the other ones. So it's kind of the wrong way around.
God bless you. Japanese role-playing
It was really
game.
fun.
Well done, Japan.
Good.
Yeah, I maxed everything that I could do in the demo. But it needs
interesting
lots of iteration on it. There are things that are way too strong.
That makes sense. Yeah, that balance would be a thing that they would do. Yeah, because I saw there was a video of it, and I was like, this seems interesting. I guess there's a demo. I played the first half of the first one and was pretty excited about it. So maybe we'll check it out.
We don't talk about the ending of the first.
Yeah, we won't talk about the ending of the first one. Yeah,
that's another
chat with some timely too fast to default.
Love it. Bravely Default Tokyo Drift. Nice. Yeah. Blue Jay. You look like you're dying because no one has paid attention to you in the last.
No chat. No chat.
Chat is good. Okay. Well,
I was dying because I literally could not understand a single thing that was just said.
Yeah, it's like listening to people talk about Magic the Gathering when you don't know anything about it.
I was just like,
what?
Default. I understand that. I also understand the word brave.
Yes. The
Nope,
original,
I
the original
don't
game
know.
was called
Okay.
Bravely Default Flying Fairy. And then there was Bravely
Ah.
Second, and now there's Bravely
That's
Default.
where the fairy flies, because specifically, when the reveal comes out,
Yeah.
you take out the letters and
I-
it says Airy lies.
It's so silly.
I don't
It's
understand. Anyway, yes, yesterday was my 4-year partner anniversary on Twitch. It was yesterday, so I just had this tiara on my desk, and I thought that I'd probably just say that, so I put the tiara on just
Mhm.
because some really cute pink-haired guy got it for me. It was pretty small.
Are you just gonna wear it all episode? Because you know people are
No,
gonna be
it gives me-
confused about
Oh,
how
are
November got
we-
turned into a weird princess.
No.
Are we
It
just
gives
using
me-
props from our desks?
Yeah. No,
There
it
we
just it gives
go.
me a headache wearing a coronet and headset. I need Astro to get on the like headset that is also a crown game because
I
they
don't have
have
any
the
props
I
on
don't
my desk,
either.
which
Yeah, I have
I
nothing.
think is
they
We
have
have
the
a-
sad for
ones
me.
they have the headsets that have the cat ears.
don't-
Those exist, but I need one that is a crown also.
Mhm.
I don't need the cat ears. I've never been cat ear lady, but crown would be good.
Yeah, I don't. I have
feel
nothing.
Like
I've
I
got
can
my
solve
phone,
this problem with glue.
my wallet,
and a
big
headset.
dust bunny under my desk. I don't.
Adam to put Dust Bunny
No,
on.
I have asthma. Get away from me. Well, Blue Jay is trying to advise me to do things that are very dangerous for me. Elf, how have you been? What have you been up to?
I'm trying to move at the moment,
Mhm.
and it's hard to move during crisis of health.
Yeah. I have a friend who is going to help move someone cross country, and then their flight got canceled and they couldn't get out there. So then she had to just drive for 20 hours by herself with everything she
Yeah.
owns. It's a
Yeah, I
lot.
saw that.
There's just a lot of shit to do, and all of it is less convenient. Basically, like every
Yeah.
possible service that you could require to move is now impossible to acquire.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
So, pointedly, internet is a big deal for me right now, and I'm trying to sort that out.
Yeah,
So.
every person who streams who ever has to move, that's the big scare is the like,
Yeah.
what if I move and the internet is bad and there's nothing I can do
Yeah,
and the
the
wiring in the
saga.
building sucks
The
and
saga of Sam stripping.
yeah, Anne had the same problem. It's a terrifying thing. It's why I don't ever want to move. Like every time my landlord was like, "You still enjoying the place?" I'm like, "Yes, please don't make me leave, please." All my stuff is there.
The thing for us, right, is like we're gonna have 3 people that all need to work from home.
Yeah.
Like in this house when we move there.
That has
So-
been a sweeping thing, right? Is like YouTube reducing its default bandwidth.
Yeah.
A lot of services are like, we suddenly have 3 or 4 or 10 times as many people using the service, so the bandwidth shoots way up. And it's like you don't think of these things as being limited in the way that like eggs are, right? You're like, there's internets, just put them all into the computer, just go. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, like
But the machinery is, it's
like I'm generally
struggling.
not a sport person, and my physical therapist, I just like had my last session, and I went to go look for the weights that we use in my physical therapy, like tiny little 1-pound weights, just so I could keep it up so I don't like die or whatever. And I didn't even think about it that all the gyms are closed, so literally all of the weights on Amazon
Yeah.
were
So
bought.
here's your solution, right? Go get a big book bag. Take all your Dungeons and Dragons books, put them in
Erica-
the bag, and
Erica
then lift
Ishii
that
did that.
bag because
I know. I only need tiny weights. Dungeons and Dragon books are too heavy.
canned goods,
Yeah. No, I
Okay,
mean, there's
how about this, Blue
solutions to
Jay?
be had. I just didn't
But,
think
yeah,
about
you
that
didn't
as
think
a
about
thing
needing it.
If you
because
really
I don't
wanna,
have experience.
you really want to test yourself, take all the dice you own, put them in a bag, and then try to lift that. So good. So anyway, Elf, you playing anything to keep the madness off? How's Neo going? Are you done? You play through it all?
I am not done
Mhm.
because I keep playing every mission that exists in the game, and
Yeah.
it's very side mission heavy.
Mhm.
So I haven't even gotten to New Game Plus yet, but I'm playing some.
Still digging it?
I've been doing a lot of Stellaris with the new DLC.
I was gonna say there's new stuff for Stellaris, right?
So the Federations DLC came out, and Federations is awesome. It
Cool.
is like it makes diplomacy worth doing. in the
that's
game, which it wasn't before.
Yeah.
Of course, I've integrated using this new amazing diplomacy power by playing races and like ethics that have no diplomacy at all.
Oh, good. Yes.
Which is really helpful. You know, when you play a devouring swarm or like xenophobic,
there's not
perfect
really
pacifists
diplomacy there. Yeah.
There's just not really much diplomacy going on. So there is a great system that exists, but am I interfacing with it particularly well? No, not
all
really.
that matters now is that you, as a warlike power, have more things to say no to.
Well, I thought the best way to demonstrate how to be a xenophobic pacifist is just to ignore everything that's happening on the galactic floor. I like to imagine that I do have a representative there, but they just never do or say anything.
Yeah,
but they're just sitting in their like Senate chair, just watching whatever's
just
happening,
observing and being judgmental.
Occasionally they're just like, we abstain, like, and that's it. Like,
yes, the galactic abstainers. Truly a dangerous force.
Reminds me of an episode of last podcast I was listening to where they tried to put the mafia men on trial and they just pled the fifth at every question.
That's
like,
right.
I abstain.
It's a good way. It's a good way to keep your secrets.
Well, you know what they say. The only way to truly be safe is abstinence.
Good job.
But yeah, so it's been really fun. Really, really, really good.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's nice when DLC comes out for an old game that you really like, and then it gives you a little bit of like an excuse to dive back in.
Andrew and I have been doing multiplayer stuff on Tuesdays together, and Stellaris is our current game, so
nice.
I kind of got back into it from that. So
yeah, I've been checking it out, like lurking. It's a good thing. I remember when you got me into Stellaris for the first time, and then I found the Star Trek mod.
yeah, it's really good.
Oh, it's good fun.
I started playing Crusader Kings because of the Game of Thrones mod, so yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Crusader Kings is another great
What about you, Lauren? How are you surviving these difficult times? And is the answer meetings?
Yeah, it really is. It turns out when like what you do is make content online and people are like, we want content online, then you have to have a lot of meetings about making content online.
Yeah.
That and cosplay, as evidence once, as always, by the fact that I never clean out my room between streams.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I hear that.
Just chilling, making
killing
stuff,
it, making things. That's cool. That's good.
I was super into magic. That's like my
I've noticed that. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I guess Theros is coming out quick. Okay, so that'll be cool.
Ikoria, I think it's the next one.
No, the new D&D book, the Theros book.
Oh yeah, the Theros D&D book.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the next magic set.
Right.
What do you call yourself, a nerd?
I was about to say, and you've passed the test. Congratulations.
Speaking of being super into magic, they sent me this today. Ooh.
Nani?
Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths. It's a digital ticket or something.
Oh, fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that gonna make artifact decks viable?
I think big monsters.
Then I don't.
To be honest, I know it says there's always a bigger monster, is what it says.
And I'm not allowed to say the secrets that I know, but I know secrets. And they're like 6 feet away from me.
Yeah,
right. Good robots in it.
We just look meaningfully. So the thing is, Dave, is that there was a time where robots were the thing.
Yeah.
The last prior to now, that was the block I played in, doing Mirrodin, and it was all artifacts and shit.
I couldn't play that because I was a student there.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll come back around.
Or not
right?
born. I don't know.
Didn't they destroy Mirrodin? Wasn't that? I don't remember. There was like a
Mirrodin got all fucked up by
they did a new Mirrodin
Phyrexians, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty much. It's my understanding that's pretty much what happens. Where there's a setting, and then the next time they come back, it's like, now let's ruin it, right? Like,
but also, like,
here's the
doesn't
setting.
everything eventually get fucked up by the Phyrexians? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Basically, all they do is fuck things up. So
yeah, exactly. I've learned so much about Magic and its canon in the last year. Because
doing the Ravnica show?
Yeah, doing Jace, Beleren, and Mastai, and then also just playing again. And I'm like, all right, I get it now. It's like a pretty well fleshed out multiverse. There's some good, interesting stuff in there. Unfortunately, all the settings I'm interested in seeing again, every time I mention them, people are like, "Ooh, no, that was a bad set. We don't talk about Kamigawa." Sorry.
Yeah, it's real sad. Kamigawa was awesome.
Yeah, right. So who knows? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for the indeterminate future. We'll see.
Just put vampires in it and I'll play it.
Yeah, fair.
Your bar is low.
Should we continue? We're coming up on, I think, if I had to guess, I would say we probably got two or maybe three more episodes in chapter 3 of Descent into Avernus, which means we are just past the halfway mark on the adventure. And
wow, the whole adventure.
Last time, there's five chapters, and it's my impression that this one is the longest. But levels going up, combat taking longer. There are a few encounters I think at the end that kind of drag things out, but I'm excited to see this next bit because we're gonna go and meet a brand new friend. Well, an old friend of Bren's, but a new friend for everyone else. We are headed for Bell's Forge, and I think the last thing that we rolled was we have the 2d8 for the navigation to bring you to the forge. So I imagine we can just begin there and see what we can do. Okay. All right. So let me read to you the box text for the re-arrival when you get to Bell's Forge. And I think probably while you're here, Bryn, in the presence of the forge, you feel a vague sense of unease, above and beyond the usual, but like that feeling of sitting outside the principal's office, right? You feel that like
I'm in trouble.
You're gonna get called out particularly, and you can feel it, right? You have this sense of like this place is going to be maybe more significant for Bran than for the others, but we'll see how it plays out. So, a gargantuan volcano dominates the horizon. Clouds of fire and ash. Yeah.
Sorry. Point of order.
Is there a
it
horizon?
4x4 squares? Because that is how big a gargantuan volcano. It's exactly 20 feet by 20 feet.
Yes, yeah.
Or is it bigger than that?
Fictionally, a very big volcano.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. Clouds of fire and ash spew from its caldera, and the air trembles with its angry grumblings. A vast, multi-layered fortress has been hewn into the volcano's rocky slopes. So as you arrive, it's clear that this is no ordinary volcano, and that it is also not inoccupied. You can see various servants of Bel, one of the Nine Hells' glorious overlords, kind of gathered around doing various hell business at the base of the forge. So
what are the servants called? The Bell Boys.
Yes, when you arrive, a spine devil with a tiny hat comes up and asks for your keys.
They prefer the term concierge.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
That's very good. I like it. I like dad jokes, Dave. So you arrive at the base, or you're arriving at the base of the forge. My question for you is this a like pull up and do an Akira slide and everybody jumps out situation, or are you going to stop when you encounter the first of their servants and like introduce yourselves? What's the approach vector for this?
We were here largely diplomatically, so I feel like
we're totally invited.
Yeah, I feel like taking the we belong here approach.
Okay.
So maybe stop and introduce ourselves seems appropriate.
Yeah, so just as a reminder for everybody, audience and players alike, you have two separate reasons to be here. Well, maybe three if you want to stretch it. So, first of all, Bryn promised Bel the return of 9 rods of adamantine stolen from Bel and hidden somewhere in Avernus. Right, so there's that promise. You also have a letter of introduction from Ralzala, a Dao ally of Bel's, who you did a favor for. And then I guess sort of peripherally and third, tying both those two together, is that we know now that despite outward appearances that Bel is a loyal co-worker of Zariel's and servant of Asmodeus, the truth is somewhat more complicated in that Bel is actually envious of Zariel's newfound power and cachet in hell and would be happy to see the archdevil herself take a fall. So it's a sort of enemy of my enemy is my friend situation. Bel might also know more about the fate of Elturel and offer suggestions on how to return it to the prime material plane from whence it came.
Quick question to potentially roll back. No,
Yeah.
we'd have to do it forwards. It would take too long.
Okay. Right.
I forgot that when I swapped spells last level,
Yeah.
I picked up locate object so we could do that side quest for you, Lauren. And I forgot to mention that was why I
the
did that.
Adamantine bars.
Yeah, isn't the range of
Yeah.
locate object like
It's only
1,000
a
feet?
It's like
1,000
1,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think probably you'll need a lead on the rods first, and then the spell will become very handy because once you have a general lead
That
on it.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't actually know like what 1,000 feet is. It's just a made up number in my head.
1,000 feet is like 300 meters.
It's like
That's
a
also a made up number in my head.
10 or 11 story
soccer
building.
field.
You can still see. Like
Oh, okay.
1,000 feet is like you can still see where that is. So like it has to be within your visual distance. Like you could probably see like way more than 1,000 feet, honestly. So like it's pretty close to you.
1,000, yeah, 1,000 feet's pretty close. It's more finding your keys in your house than it is, finding the Holy Grail.
Can you upcast it?
I guess you could
I don't think so.
scry, but then you need to know the object. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
I could scry it if I was allowed the material component, but I'm not.
Yeah, it might. I mean, also if it's hidden, it's probably hidden magically as well, right? If Belle can't just be like, "Where are my rods?"
Yeah. Also, I have Revivify prepared.
Oh, nice.
If at some point we want to acquire, if we can, more diamonds.
I didn't grind up one of them, so
I need. Most of my spells don't need components, but this one is 300 diamonds worth 300 gold pieces.
nope, can't help you there.
So
You need to go back there and just be like,
Yeah.
look, you need
It's
to open
something
a
to
diamond
consider
store
'cause
for us.
I can have it.
I mean,
prepared.
again, you're going to a forge, right? So maybe if you play your cards right, Belle will be able to provide.
Yeah, that's true.
Abyssal diamonds or something.
Mhm.
Probably.
Cool.
Be like, hey, so
Cry
I
when
don't
you
really
look at
need
them.
you. I don't really need you to bring me back from the dead, but enabling me to bring someone else back from the dead.
Yeah.
Like I'll still go on this stupid fetch quest for you, but
Yeah, just
People-
negotiate. There
Give
you
me
go.
a
If people are basically made of carbon, we're carbon-based life forms. If you got like 1,000,000 skulls and like crushed them down, could you make?
So Dave, have you heard about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
So over time they don't turn into diamonds.
No, but they
into
don't
whale.
have fabricate.
Right. So magic and skulls.
Yeah, like they got a
My
load of
two
skulls
favorite
here. I
things.
just mush it.
God,
I don't.
being on a road trip with the 4 of these characters would be intolerable.
I
mean,
feel like we're fine. It's Lulu.
It's the
that's
it's
problem.
the
Thankfully,
It's the
Lulu
suspension
doesn't
of-
take up a seat. Lulu flies around.
it's the suspension of D&D belief that comes
Wait,
with the
wait.
suspension of disbelief that comes with every D&D party is like not everyone's just best friends.
Actually, the suspension of disbelief is a car part you can install to protect your party from illusions.
I'm done.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
Dave
I
is
would-
making
I
me
would
do
say-
this.
If dinosaurs turn into the diamonds, would they be diamond sores?
Yes.
Dimetrodons.
Yeah.
All right.
Elf
Okay.
is like-
And yes, you are correct. A road trip with these characters
Bujay, come back.
absolutely terrible.
Bujay.
I thought the suspension of disbelief was a pretty good joke, but whatever.
It was.
Okay,
I hate
so
all of you. I hate you so much.
you arrive at Bell's Forge, and I think that probably if you just straight up drive up, many of the devils turn to look, right? You attract their attention, and some fly or jog or lope after you, anticipating that this is some kind of assault. And you're only able to drive so far before you reach a kind of ground perimeter of iron, basically tank traps sticking up out of the ground, protecting the base of the forge. It's clear that the forge is a high priority target both for demons and also for rival devils. There are pools of demonic ichor laying scattered about. And in fact, I think as you drive up, you see various skirmishes occurring around. But as you drive up to the tank trap, there's an opening in the front with some guardian devils. We've got some probably some spine devils flying around and a couple of bearded devils with halberds. And they I mean, I guess if you don't slow down, they try to jump out of the way, but they're basically stepping out to get you to stop to find out who you are, so you don't just drive up to the front door.
Being the driver and also now recently lawful evil, one has acquired a sweet pair of shades.
Nice.
No one knows where they came from, but she has them.
Okay, question. Are these like those tiny like round shades like Crowley or are these
I
like
think they're aviators.
Okay.
I think they're like aviators.
Are they reflective?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Super
And a
reflective.
box of
Can't see your
donuts
face.
just on the dash for some reason.
That's the lawful part.
Yeah, and she'll stop because again, the lawful part. But she's like she plays chicken with them a little bit.
Right. So you stop with the chomper on the front, like right in front of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the two
I didn't see you there.
guard devils, they look at each other and they kind of like look up at you, and you can see you've clearly shaken them. And one comes around to the driver's side and looks up, and he
leaning on the edge. There's no window there, but she's still leaning.
And and he looks up and says, "Are you expected by the Dark Lord?"
Sauron? No.
We don't know him. He's not from here.
Your Dark Lord is in another castle. If Sathra doesn't say anything, then Bryn will talk. But
yeah, he's addressing you because you're driving.
I mean, you're driving.
Bryn kind of looks him up and down and is like, not expected, but we are welcome.
And who are you?
Bryn. Just like points at herself, assuming that they're talking to her.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, just assume they're talking to you. They recognize you as passengers, but they're referring to the whole group. But you're like, Bryn. You point yourself. Okay. They look at each other, and there's a moment of kind of like, do we know that name? Do we know who this is? And then the other one nods, and the one speaking to you says,
"That's not good."
The other one says, "You're expected. Go on in." And then they step out of the way.
But yeah, Bryn's like turns back to the other ones and is like, "Oh, they probably think I'm bringing the stuff that I have not brought yet." But
almost certainly they are. Yes.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
All
right.
I might need your help with this one, Sathra.
I'll take the lead on this.
Should we have done that before?
They didn't exactly give me useful information to find it, so
someone took some stuff somewhere in hell which doesn't actually have any fixed locations in it. Great, thanks. I have magic. I don't have god magic.
Yet.
What's Osarovos?
Yet. Good addition. Does anybody else want a quick Infernal Primer? Just so we're all in the same loop.
Sorry, what?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if we all want to speak Infernal, it's probably not a bad idea.
Oh, native tongue. It's fine.
Okay, definitely Sathra. Why not? Let's just
think that will go over well here.
Let's just burn a bunch of spells because they're divination spells and spell slots come back. It's probably fine.
It's fine, Sosorovo. I can be a translator.
Well, I already cast it on myself. I just realized it was rude.
Well, I'm just saying that like you don't need to waste your spell slots. We could just say November is translating.
When I was unconscious and dying, he did speak to me in a way that I understood. So
yes, generally they can.
A lot of them do have psychic powers.
Yeah. And also like in terms of spell slots, like you don't have to waste it. There's someone in our party that does speak Infernal, and we could just say if it comes up, like I will tell whomever what it is they said.
Okay, that's fine. I can cycle this one anyway into a usable spell slot, so it doesn't matter too much. But I've used one up.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at some art I have to show you. I forgot how silly Bell looks.
Yeah, he looks like such a dork.
He does look like a huge dork.
He looks like Tim Curry in Legend.
So so you pull into essentially the parking lot out front of Bell's Forge. There is a cavernous entrance. You can see massive waves of heat in the air, and I think you can all feel as you get closer, you can feel like you start to sweat if that's a thing that your species does. And it's not great. And this is from outside. There's heat wafting out of the entrance. Yeah, right. And I think there are probably a handful of other vehicles parked next to it, many of them painted with eldritch sigils, indicating they're part of a larger machine like fleet. These appear to be Bell's servants' personal vehicles.
It's my least favorite type
Are
of
some of the
weather.
motorcycles Bell's riders?
Yeah, exactly. You just push over all the motorcycles just to show who's boss.
Yeah, I'm coolest here.
Yeah. So yeah,
Apparently, Bryn has also become a teenager.
yeah. I mean, you know. So as you, yeah,
I mean, teenagers are definitely not lawful.
as you come into the area, Lulu flits about nervously and probably stays close to the party, more so than usual, just because she seems a little spooked by this place, and as usual, desperately attempting to remember as you enter. So you're heading inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. Okay. All right. A wrought iron spiral staircase descends into a cavernous forge. Channels of bubbling lava wind through the complex, casting fiery light over huge anvils. Chained giants with coal black skin and fiery orange hair hammer out weapons under the malignant gaze of a pit fiend seated in a flying throne. Throughout the forge, sparks fall like rain. So I'm gonna bring you over and I'm gonna show you a couple of things for the forge. So here we are. You've just entered Bell's forge.
Big sword guys.
Yeah. So let me show you this. So the token, if you look at the token, they look super huge, right? They got like huge shoulders, big broad chest. Turns out they're mostly upper body.
They look like weirdly proportioned Ganondorfs.
I love these fire giants. I love them.
This is exactly the thought process when someone saw Wind Waker for the first time. They're like, that looks too kiddie. Let me mod it so it looks more realistic.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you get.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's a great reveal too, because if you just look at the top of the art, you're like, yeah, and you slowly scroll down, and there's just tiny legs and their little loincloth. So there are several of those, several fire giants, and then of course our old friend Bell on his flying throne.
What a fucking dweeb.
Yeah, and you see him kind of at the other end of the forge. The chained giants pay no attention to you as you enter, hammering away at their enormous forges on whatever projects they are currently working on.
I'm just Bell is wearing like his own face on a t-shirt. He's like a Twitch streamer.
He's yeah, exactly.
He's wearing his own merch.
Ron is wearing his Ron shirt. Ron's Ron shirt. So I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. It's only DC 5 because it's just the first one.
Well, I can't fail then.
Yeah, anybody.
Is there anything is this because of the heat?
It is, yes.
So if I have if I have hellish resistance, does that matter? It's fire damage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
creatures with resistance or immunity to fire damage automatically succeed on this saving throw.
Okay, then I don't have to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I hate it. Like we were talking about this in chat. Like I don't enjoy that it's hot, but it doesn't hurt me.
You all suddenly understand how it feels to be the proverbial ice cube in hell. But yeah, some of you are more resistant than others. So for the time being, yeah, it's merely sweaty. And as you enter, you see on the far side of the room, you see the demon Lord Bell, and he looks up, and when he sees you, I think he does address you.
You've arrived. Come, approach my throne.
Okay.
I approach less echo in this.
I approach towards the throne.
Usually, have you heard of acoustic foam?
It's built in. I can't change. I always sound like this. Come on.
Okay.
Bryn walks up with Sathra.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Lulu flutters nervously behind you as you approach.
Left the dog in the car with the AC on.
Okay,
that's why we have to leave the car running all the
soul
time.
coins
That's why we never turn it off. It's because the soul
perfect.
coins are powering the air conditioning. I fucking solved it.
I'm glad they at least have air conditioning in hell.
You have to.
So you approach Bell, and does anybody like bow or kneel or salute or anything like that, or do you just walk up?
I produced the tablet from what's her name from Ralzala. That's the thing that I'm doing. I'm just like pulling this tablet out.
I think Bryn.
So you take it out and you hold it out to him, or
Yeah,
okay.
you know, like the
having enough like inclination. It shows respect. I don't think she like bows dramatically, but I think it's like there's certain like reverential sort of like a nod of, yes, you are clearly capable of murdering me. Just at a whim.
That's one specific method of understanding a hierarchy. I will bow to you because if I don't, you're going to squish me with your flying throne.
Yeah. Is there an indicator of like proper behavior? Is he like looking at us like expectantly?
I mean, he's a pit fiend and one of the like demon lords or devil lords of hell. So like he probably expects some form of bowing and scraping. But up to you whether you do it.
November does a very, very awkward. November does a very awkward like fumbling like curtsy sort of thing. Like.
Okay.
Yeah. Svirfneblin don't really see much point of getting closer to the floor, so they have like an Arnold J. Rimmer kind of spinning salute onto their head.
It's like a
the wafting salute. All right, so
military salute.
So I guess aside from Sathra, who just takes out her stone business card,
Sathra just decides she's outside of the current hierarchy. Like she's got a different hierarchy that she deals with.
So Bell takes. I guess he looks down. He looks down at the tablet briefly, and then looks over at Bryn and says,
"This is not the gift I expected you to bring me, Bryn.
Where
are my adamantine rods?"
It's a step in the process. We don't exactly have a lot of information to work on, and we had something that I think is more beneficial to you that we are currently in the process of when you very graciously offered to revive me.
Bring me that tablet.
He puts a hand out, and his throne like lowers to the floor.
I hand him the stone tablet.
The flying throne thing just makes me think of Baron Harkonnen.
Oh no, it's out of control!
Right? He flies over, and you give him a taste of the Dendar Gum Jabbar. Okay, so when he comes closer, Lulu kind of flutters back behind Sosarova to hide. And he takes the
Is it like when you open up the oven and all of the hot air like wafts onto your face?
Yeah. And as he gets closer, like that aura of heat.
Shades steam up.
Yeah. Just have to take them off and wipe them on your arm.
Your eyelashes, if you're wearing mascara, get stuck together.
Yeah. So he lowers down, he takes the tablet and he looks at it and says,
"So you freed Ralzala. Zariel's not going to like that."
We're not here to please Zariel.
So you've come here to please me, then? You know what I want. Why have you come before me empty-handed?
Like I said, our primary reason for being here in this plane was to, I suppose, in a roundabout way, put an end to Zariel's reign. Which I think is more valuable for you than any amount of adamantine bars. Not that I will not continue upon that quest, but it is not our primary objective.
So when he responds, and it's physically impossible for me to do this, but I'll describe what happens. So when he responds, the words that he is speaking with his voice as his mouth is moving, and the words that your ears hear are one thing, and then in all of your minds, you hear a different thing that he's saying. So what he says out loud is,
"I am a loyal servant of Asmodeus and ally to Zariel. I will not have you speak ill of her in my presence."
But of course, what you hear in your head is,
"Insurrection against the fallen angel. Good, I approve. Your first priority is finding those adamantine rods, but in your other activities, perhaps we can assist one another.
Of course. Bryn tries to do like she's like, I'm not that smart. How do you have two conversations at once? She's like stumbling a little.
Did I just think that, or did I say it out loud? Let's just say Zariel moved me to a bigger house. Yeah, so I think he's clearly capable of having two separate conversations, but if you wanna communicate mentally the secret, we can assume, if you'd like, that the verbal communication is like, yes, of course, my lord, I understand. Zariel is super
I'm so
cool.
sorry to have disappointed
like
you
if you want to just play
word.
that game to cover it, then in all of your heads, the conversation continues in a more treasonous direction.
I think Sosrovo can do this.
Yeah.
That sounds like a kind of wizard thing to do.
Well, because you already have to keep all the spells you've prepared going up over and over and over in your head while you're doing literally anything else. So tricky business. So it's easier for you. Yeah. So anyway, during the secret treason conversation, what do you want to say? Yeah,
what do we want to say? We know. Just any lead that he has on the Adamantine bars would be super helpful, but he's probably going to be pissed that we're asking for it.
I think that from what I remember of the goal of the adventure in the first place is there's a castle made out of goodness containing Zariel's sword.
Right, in a big scab.
And that's what we're actually looking for.
Yes.
I know it's been a while.
No, but that's what chapter 3 is about, is figuring out, getting a lead on Zariel's sword, which is currently buried under a big scab.
Then I reckon we ask that as payment for our doing the side quest for him. Right, that seems like a reasonable thing.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you say to Bel, Lord of the Forge?
What I was going to suggest was, oh, mighty archdevil of forging and fire and stuff. I may be able to help locate the creatures, but am missing the magician components required. I could do this for you, but I would need something to scry with.
If you're looking for the Bleeding Citadel, as my spies have indicated, your pathetic magic will find nothing. It is hidden. But you're lucky. I happen to know where it is. Please me, and I will tell you.
No.
Hey, do you mean the thing that we didn't ask you yet that you'll tell us, or the thing that
he knows? He knows what you're looking for, right? Like he says he names it, and I think because you're the closest to her, Lulu makes a nervous squeaking sound when you say when he says bleeding citadel. She's like, oh yeah, that thing, and then hides behind you again, like, oh God, keep him away from me.
Oh no, I was going to do the thing for you first before deigning to possibly try and negotiate something without giving in return.
And in return, you want diamonds? Puny mortal triflings. I can take your diamonds for you from the earth itself. But not until you've done what I ask. I want those rods, Bryn, as you promised.
Yes, of course. At no point would I have reneged on that. I gave you my word.
Good. Then you understand the gravity of our bargain. If you wish to vouchsafe your soul and learn the location of the Bleeding Citadel, you must go and speak to the Sibriax. My spies have captured one, and I think it knows more than it's letting on.
About the rods?
You have my permission to interrogate it about whatever subject you wish. If it leads you to the rods, good. All the better for us both.
Thank you for your assistance. Hell is large and vast and terrifying. I do not think we could have done this without it.
I'm certain of it.
We are pathetic in your
Right. Good
I'm like-
kowtowing. Like it. He's clearly digging it.
Yeah, no, she's like, oh no,
He's
figured it out.
clearly
She's like,
digging.
he's like the captain of the guard that wants
yeah,
you to
yeah.
say nice things
Yeah.
to him.
Exactly. It's harder for you. It's harder for you to not accidentally call him sergeant than it is.
Yeah,
to,
like, sir, yes, sir. Right
yes,
away, sir.
whatever you
You're
say,
always
Captain.
smart,
I mean,
sir.
Lord of Hell. Whatever.
You've never once made a bad mistake, sir.
Yeah,
Accidentally
Bryn
called your
does the
teacher wrong.
kowtowing, and I think it's been so long since we've all been in like Flaming Fist territory that November's like,
What is Bell if not the biggest flamingest fist?
Exactly. Eat big fist.
So
Where
you said there's someone to interrogate, or
I didn't quite understand the word you said of the thing to ask.
Sybriax?
Sybriax?
The creature you seek is a Sybriax, a kind of fiend, a lore collector, a secret stealer, hoarders of forbidden knowledge. We've managed to wring a few delicate secrets from this one. I think you could find more.
Where
Pretty
can
good
we
at that.
interrogate them?
by torturing
Yeah, you
Bryn
don't
like
have to
looks
do
at
that.
Sosorovo. It's like, no. Like,
them? Okay, yeah.
I also think
I know what
I'm
is it.
just like,
too.
yes.
But yeah, I assume Sathra was like, wait, not torture?
There's like two very like starkly different.
Yeah,
reactions.
everybody shares a moment of like, maybe we do that. That works. So when you say how do we find it or where is it, Bell responds with, again, speaking words of chastisement and praise for Zariel, but in your mind.
A servant of mine, an imp, Balakros, awaits for you on the surface. He will show you on your map where the Sybriax lies.
Seems reasonable.
I think that you will find, unlike my brethren, I am nothing but reasonable.
All right, well, we'll handle this for you, and then we'll be back to speak to you about what you know.
Good.
And then he gestures like, "Be gone with you," and then slow-mo floats away on his cool hover chair.
Yeah, that's
I
good
just
too.
want to Eldritch Smite him off the chair.
I mean, listen, if you want to fight Bell right this very moment,
It's not a good plan.
he's only CR 25.
And the fire giants
and there's only
are
5
also,
fire
like,
giants standing in
yeah,
the room.
like,
So
totally not.
yeah. So do you want to head back? Any other questions? I mean, Bell has dismissed you. If you have
Yeah,
more
I
questions or
mean,
demand more things, you can certainly
sh-
ask of them once you know where his precious rods are.
We should.
Let's
we
go
should, I
figure
guess-
out where those rods are.
Yeah, I guess we'll go get the rods. You know.
Well, I'm pretty sure all the rods currently are in quarantine. Rod Stewart.
Get out of here.
Please name more rods for me.
You only
Is
had
Rod-
one
I
rod.
only
You
have
had
one rod.
Is Rod
I only
Rowdy
have a
Roddy
single
Rowdy
rod.
Roddy Piper? Is Rod
Yeah,
Serling?
Rod's
Rod
still
Serling's dead,
alive.
right?
I don't know a lot of rods. Like
Rod is a very like it's
Rod
a rarer
Flanders?
name. Yeah.
Roderick?
I feel like there's a Roderick.
Sorry, Wadwick.
I just
Okay.
I know where most of them would be. You know, just generally, vaguely, not specifically. But
So you head back upstairs to the outside of the forge, right? You come outside and by comparison, the air up here is cool and easy to breathe versus how it was downstairs. You didn't spend very long in there, so you're able to get out fairly quickly. And as promised, waiting outside, there is an imp sort of fluttering boredly near the entrance, waiting for you. And when you arrive, when you walk outside, the imp, whose name was Balakros. So
Yes.
so Balakros appears and says to you, when you come out, I guess you would uncloak because they can turn invisible. He uncloaks and he says, Bryn and company, I presume.
Yes.
And
That's
he does a little bow and he says, if you'll come with me, and gestures over his head.
Do any of you know what a Sybriax is?
No. No idea.
mm-mm.
I
All right.
assume you can still read its mind.
If it has one.
Well, I can zone of truth. That's about all I got.
I have other methods.
Yeah,
Let's hold off on the. We'll start with the easier.
You
one.
assume my methods will be decapitation because that's what I've done so far, but I have a new spell that I think
Is
will
it,
be.
is it speak with dead head?
It isn't that, no.
Listen, in personal experience, do not attempt to speak to a deadhead. It's very frustrating. They'll just end up staring at their hands the whole conversation. It's not good. So do you? So when you come out, the imp starts flying and is basically like, "Come with me." And he sort of walk and talks with you, Bryn. He says, "Our most glorious master has instructed me to lead you to the camp where we've got the Sybriacs imprisoned. Now, normally I'd take you down to the dock and we would take a barge, but I noticed you have your own vehicle. So if you prefer to drive, I'll come along and point the way, so you don't get lost."
That sounds great. Also, then we don't have to leave our car behind.
You're not
Yeah.
expecting to come back? Of course you will.
Well, I
Great.
mean, I'm sure we'll come back, but I don't know how long. We've had to do a lot of go to a place and then go to another place and then go to another place before we can go back to the first place. So it's good to be prepared.
Yeah, let's drive. I love that car.
Okay. All right. So he
The dungeon fucker.
so first, yeah, that's right. That is exactly. So first the imp asks, do you have a map?
Of course.
And you take it out, and on the map, your new friend points out the Sybriacs, which is right there. Yeah.
That is not how I spelled it.
Right. It's one of those words. So Sybriacs, yeah, it's right there.
I spelled mine CY.
Yeah, I think that's fair too. Yeah. I also kind of pronounced it more like Sybriacs than Sybriacs, but demon voice.
Jeez, Adam.
So okay, so you you're led out by this imp, and he floats down into the onto the car, and he clings to the windshield, and once everybody gets in, he says, "All right, let's go," and points a scrawny finger at the horizon as you head off in that direction. So there's a roll, like if you have someone guiding you, I think it's D10s for the getting lost roll. Let me take a quick look.
I think you're right.
I think it
'Cause
is.
We talked about it like
Yeah,
last
let's
time.
do it. So someone roll 2d10 on the rare chance. Okay, Blue
Perfect.
Jay, you got it. A 10 to 4. Okay. All right. So a travel day, an amount of time passes, and you arrive at the Sybriacs, which I will both describe and show you a very delightful handout of. So let's see here. Here we go. Spiky chains lash a 15-foot diameter floating blob of quivering flesh to a 20-foot tall wrought iron scaffold. Two fiends wrapped in chains stand atop the scaffold, torturing the bloated creature's flesh by tightening its chains. Demon ichor oozes from its wounds, forming a shallow pool around the scaffolding. A third, jackal-headed fiend uses a bronze horn to yell loudly up at the bloated prisoner in multiple languages. It sits cross-legged about halfway up the scaffolding. So that's what the Sybriacs looks like. So there's the Sybriacs. Yeah.
Love to see it.
And then the jackal-headed creature, like so. I guess it's also jackal-bodied, but that's fine. You can't really see its body from where you're sitting.
Arcanoloths are awesome.
Yeah, right. And then
It's like the cute one and then the very extremely not cute
And then
one. These two
up
animals
top-
are from different adventures.
up top, tightening the chains, are Hell's very own go-go dancers themselves. A couple of chain devils. They work hard and they play hard. So that's what you see as you arrive, and as you pull up, the imp says to you, "They know you're coming, so just introduce yourself, and I'm sure it'll be fine. For safety's sake, I'm gonna stay down here with the car." And he says, "Good luck," and then turns invisible.
Reassuring.
God, that's. Oh, I'm gonna throw up in my hat.
It's also very
Don't
drippy
do that.
too. Yeah, there's
Don't
a
do that.
lot
Don't
of
do that.
Miffles,
Fluid.
get the bag. Get the bag. Yeah. I'll read his mind, but I'm not going to look at it.
There. Very reasonable.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me, Wolf Boy, Wolfie.
So as you approach, the Arcanoloth puts the trumpet up to its face and shouts into the trumpet, and so you hear like, "Tell us everything you know about Zariel." And then there's like a pause.
Nothing.
And then there's a pause, and then the Arcanoloth makes a face and picks up a red flag and waves it at the chain devils up above, and they tighten the chains, and gore drips down from the Sybriacs, and the Arcanoloth says, "You see, there's only more where that came from. You should just cooperate." And as you get closer, I think probably November. What's your alignment?
Good.
Neutral
good. Yeah.
Okay, I have to make a quick adjustment to my little voice box here, because you alone, you hear a chorus of strange voices in your head as you get closer.
Oh, it's November. My first voices in my head.
A lot of telepathy in this adventure. Yeah, so you hear, "Please help us."
And she's like looking around like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
so you hear this like warbling chorus of voices in your mind.
Yeah, so she looks around like, who the fuck? And then looks at the Sybriacs and is like, ah.
And then you hear, "Yes, you see our suffering. Please, freedom."
And I look at the rest of the party. Is anyone else like giving any indicators of like, I am also hearing a voice in my head, or like?
I mean, I think it looked like Sosorovo was trying to knot Ralph in their hat. Bryn, it's very hard to tell what Bryn is feeling now because Bryn has cool sunglasses now, so it's really hard to read her.
I'm pulling straight up, Zimbardo, like. And sorry, I'm just gonna go psychology joke there.
Nice.
Right, they gave them the sunglasses, so you didn't see their feet.
And I feel like if you lit Sathra's pants on fire, you would get the same response as every other, and just be like, disappointing.
She only has one expression.
Yeah, resting Dendar face.
Yeah, I will like attempt to, I don't know, like reply telepathically and be like, "Are you the Sybriacs?"
We are. Yes. Long have we suffered in the hands of these creatures. Please, help us.
Are you manually?
You got it.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish it's making me want a USB controller so I actually have knobs I can fuck with while I'm doing that.
And I think that she's gonna not take an action like right now specifically.
Yeah.
But she's definitely like looking around a little bit more concerned. And is probably gonna like, obviously we had already like, or Sosorovo had already like tried to speak to the jackal-headed creature.
Only as you were approaching. We haven't really gone down that path yet, right? So like as you get closer, probably the Arcanoloth gets fed up with not getting a response and then shouts like, "Take 10, boys," and turns around and looks down and is like, "Oh," and then grabs the side of the scaffolding and slides down it, lands crouching on the ground, gets up and brushes off their robes and starts walking towards you.
"Hello, we're here to do the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Sorry about that."
And so the Arcanoloth looks at you and the four of you and is like, "What? You're my relief? I can go home? Because Jank and Shalak and I have been at this for a long time. We've got some good information for the Dark Lord, but we can still do it. There's no reason to get rid of us."
I don't think that the prime idea here was to get rid of you. We just have a separate question to ask.
Oh,
or your break relief.
He's like, "Oh, that's a relief. Well, as you can see, you're welcome to the horn if you want. I've managed to get it to tell me bits and pieces, but nothing of any value.
Torture isn't a very reliable form of interrogation, right? Often they'll just say anything to get it to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ran into that at the Flaming Fist a lot.
And the creature looks at it looks at the two of you and is like, "That's insane. Where are you from? You're talking like children."
Never mind them. They don't know what they're talking about. It's fine. Torture is great.
He turns and he says, "Well, I'm going to assume you're in charge. So we're going to take a break. We'll be over there if you need anything." He reaches into his robes and takes out a pack of smokes and is just like, "I'm on break," and walks off. The two chain devils
smoking
follow.
Arcanoloth. Like,
yeah.
I was going to try and find out if there's a spellcaster. This gets harder if it is.
I don't know.
I can shout for them to come back.
You could just go ask them. They might be on break, but they probably still answer that question.
It depends on how strict Hell's Union is.
I was saying it as they'd gone away because it's a lot of questions that are like,
Yeah.
does it have legendary resistance? Is this going to work? So they're not questions anyone could actually answer.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to get up a little closer and make an Arcana check to try to like figure out one of these things, right? You've seen lots of books on demonology and what have you. So
yeah. Oh god.
So yeah, there's a ladder that ascends. Think of it as one of those big electricity pylons, one of those big metal ones they have kind of out in the suburbs. Big one of those, but made out of gnarled metal instead of like steel. Big gnarled iron thing. And then up top, this thing is all chained to it, and then it has the chains hanging from it. The chains up there are all barbed and spiked, and they're like dug into its wet, swollen exterior.
God.
Do we know why?
Gross myself out saying that.
Yeah.
Do you know why they've done this? Just because it knows things? This seems very cruel.
Yeah, that's why I learned spells instead.
This
I
is
just-
hell.
I don't like it.
The only thing that we need is the answer to the question where the adamantine rods are, and then we don't care what they do with it.
Speaking of which, what are you going to do with adamantine rods?
I mean, presumably
Forge
Bell's
them?
Forge is hot enough to melt them into adamantine other stuff,
But
which
no,
is something that lots of places can't do.
yeah, but I meant like, what's the end goal? It's a very specific material.
Adamantine sword, adamantine, I don't know, codpiece. Who cares?
It's so rare and so expensive.
He's a demon he's a devil on a floating chair. Who cares what he wants?
I think it's interesting too, Sathra, that you would know about like hot forges required to melt adamantine because probably one of a few volcanoes hot enough
Yeah.
is the one in Chult. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's cool.
I figured that wouldn't
Alright.
be outside of my experience
Mhm.
necessarily.
Okay,
All right. So
I'm
how are we doing this? Are you just gonna try and read its mind and then we'll go from there, or
Don't say it so loud. Doesn't know it's coming yet. Element of surprise helps.
all right. I'll yell the question through the trumpet.
Get
Yeah.
up to the trumpet. Okay.
While the
If you-
yelling and interrogating is taking place, can I like look and see like what the contraption or chains
Yep.
that are holding this thing in place?
Yes.
look
So
like?
the Sybriex is bound to the tower by 6 iron chains. It appears that the creature's natural method of movement is flight. It kind of looks like a what are those? What's the StarCraft unit? The Overmind or whatever they are. Like flying.
Overlords.
Yeah, Overlords. Looks like a big flying brain. So it looks like the chains are binding it to the tower. There are 6 of them. They're metal. You imagine that you could
As we
break or
walk
untie them.
in the goop underneath it, we get like slightly enhanced movement speed.
I
Generation.
was to say, don't walk in the goop because this thing is dripping that same black ichor that you saw the merchant douse himself with. Remember when the mutated guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what we're working with here. You said an Arcana check to see.
Yeah, if you want to see what you know
glean
about
anything.
it, sure.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Increased proficiency. Feels good. That is the wrong skill.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the same
history.
modifier.
You
So
don't know the history of Sybriexes, but it's the same modifier.
number,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, 14. Okay, so I'll tell you some basic stuff. A Sybriex is a demon. It's a form of demon, which means it's chaotic. It's not a devil. So this is a blood war prisoner of some kind. You're gonna want to stay away from it at least 30 feet, because anything within 30 feet of a creature like this dies. And you're remembering this in the form of like medieval woodcut like paintings, right, from the book. So there's like one of these things and then waves coming off of it and like people melting and dying all around it. There is like a sorcerer dressed in a black, or a warlock in a black robe with horns conjuring one from a pentagram. And then also, you know that it has an ability to channel its warped blood, and it can warp the flesh of its enemies. So it can cause you to like grow additional limbs. It can warp the flesh if it is able to do so.
That's the 30 feet thing.
And two different things. The 30-foot one, if you stay within 30 feet of it, you will die. Like you'll just disintegrate. And then it can also, make your limbs fall off. It can mutate you, right, etc. Make you grow suddenly covered in eyes, that sort of thing.
Jesus.
Some see this as a weapon, but others summon a Cibriex for this very purpose. And so I again imagine in this manual you read about warlocks summoning a Cibriex to grant them like the powers of hell. And so you see one with like wings and another one with like huge claws, and it's clearly like granting them, gifts of chaos.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want gifts of chaos.
Yeah, right?
But we'll see if we can ask it for that, just as like a little bonus.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
If I have more hands, I can chop with more swords.
That's
D&D
true.
doesn't have rules for that.
True.
Okay, so first things first, everyone, don't get too close. I would recommend exactly 30 feet.
That's very specific. Wizards.
It's how
Very-
wizard books are written. They're all like with measurements. It's weird how specific it has to get. So sorry.
How
And
far
also-
like overhead is it? Is it past 30 feet? Is that why they like, because didn't you say there were people like literally on top of it?
So the way that it is described is it's probably outside. Like the people with the chains are pulling pulleys and staying far enough away to be outside of its
They
its
were
grasp.
pulling chains. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't remember much more than that. Also, I can turn you into like gross things like it. Oh god.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. All right, let's give this a shot. I will cast this.
Yeah, as you're about to cast a spell, right? You like get ready and you're about to speak, and then everyone hears the voice of the Cibriex. Have you come to hurt us? We've suffered so much already. And so everyone hears that in their mind.
Your suffering can be over. I trumpet. Your suffering can be over in a mere moment if you just answer one question for us.
Wait, really?
Would
We have the
I don't
authority
care.
to do that.
release us?
I don't care either way, as long as I get what I want.
Are you lying to the Cibriex about this?
Yes.
Okay, I figured. I just thought I'd check. Okay, do you want to make a deception check?
I would indeed.
Okay.
I will do this with
Think,
my
like-
inspirational advantage.
Bryn's dealing with the conflict of like like
28.
Good thing you used advantage.
Yeah, sorry, Lauren, you were saying?
Yeah, sorry.
just the lawful part of like probably Belle will murder us if we set this thing free. And also this thing doesn't seem like a thing we want to be free if like everything within 30 feet of it just dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying about the unicorn.
Like-
and everyone was like,
doesn't-
nah.
It doesn't seem like we'd actually be doing like that seems like a bad idea.
So
Like,
it's
not
fine
even
for
people
people who
bad.
are bad to be tortured.
I mean, if it's floating
Yes.
around, we'll probably die. As far as Bryn is concerned right now, yes. She doesn't care because she's evil.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
She's
so
like, it's like the same as locking up someone who's bad, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
this
mean,
person is
Sathra's not
criminal,
planning-
they're gonna do
Catherine's not
bad
planning to
things.
torture this creature at all if it answers the question.
Yeah.
Her current pursuit is cool. If I don't have to do any work and you just tell me what I want, great, and then I leave. Like that's
yeah,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you say that, and you make your 28 deception roll, which is a very good result, and the Cibriex again responds.
Very well. A show of faith, then.
I will answer
One question, and then you will.
set us free.
I turn to Bryn, and I ask quietly so that it cannot take this as the one question that
Yeah,
is being
right.
clearly undirected.
Clearly not
at you.
aimed at them. Yeah. At them.
I ask, how many adamantine rods were there?
9. Right.
Lovely.
That's right.
I turn back.
Wait, tell him to submit to my thought feeding spell to make sure he's not lying. That'll get past any resistances.
If I ask him to do that, that's one question.
He's a demon, not a devil. They don't do the law tricky. Actually, maybe they do.
They do. They also do. I speak abyssal. Trust me.
You're like, this is one of ours. I know how it goes.
Can you phrase it in a really long question with like a semicolon?
You could just use the command statement and not a question at all. Like allow Sosorovo to.
Man's got to be
Whatever.
one word.
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
we can,
say it.
we
as
can
a
do
command.
this.
Yeah.
That's not a question.
We can definitely do this. Here, I got it. I've got it. Thank you, friends, for organizing my thoughts. Show of faith. For your show of faith, allow my compatriot here to read your thoughts so that we can determine if you are telling the truth.
Oh, no, we must not.
Not do that. Too many are the secrets within our mind. Too dangerous. Too risky.
I mean, I'm fairly perceptive. I could just.
All right.
What, read its facial expression?
It's not necessarily facial expression,
What?
intonation.
What emotion is the Sybriax
No,
feeling
this is-
just
this
now?
is this is Sosorovo being like, why solve a problem without magic when you can use magic
I
to solve
look-
the problem?
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
you
looked
could
at
actually-
Yeah, you
November
still
and I'm
can.
like,
I mean,
I'm
I'm
like,
just.
all right, yeah, pay close attention. Yeah.
I understand it's been tortured for the information in its head. I understand it wouldn't just give it up willingly, you know.
Just said there's so many.
Right? It's a big saggy secret bag, and it's just
In
floating
fairness,
right
there's
there.
no reason you can't try after we get the answer to our question.
Mhm.
Okay.
It just might
Hold
not
on.
work, or you might
So
die.
I'm going to ask now. Is everybody ready for me to ask?
Rock and roll.
My one question is, where are the 9 adamantine rods Bell has lost?
Hell's lost property.
Yes, we know of this.
We have seen it. One of the flying fortresses dragged from the sky. In its cargo hold, the rods you will find a wreck.
Is
Wonderful.
it telling the truth?
You can make an insight check, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, do it.
I get a 10.
As far as you can tell, it is, yes.
And I like nod at Sather, like,
All right. Wonderful. Thank you for that. And then I turn and I walk away.
oh, wait.
Where are you going?
That belly
No.
helps.
You said we would free it. We can't just.
I say things all the time, like that I'll slice off people's heads, and then that's not true, and then you stop me from doing that, and then
I mean-
there's lots of things that I say that. Do you really care about lying to a horrible demon?
I mean, we freed the vampire and the unicorn.
Vampire, not a horrible demon. Unicorn,
I mean, it tried to.
also not a horrible demon.
It tried to kill Sosorovo.
Yeah, no. So this is a thing, right? Where like mechanically, Sathara is correct that this thing is chaotic evil. Sosoro can confirm that it's a demon, and it definitely nothing good would come of freeing it, right? Like, and this becomes sort of the D&D ethics question: is it okay to let two evil things torture each other because they're evil?
Here is my question to you, November. Not that I don't agree with your moral standing on this, but if we free it, assuming we can free it, because we can't approach within 30 feet of it without mutating. If you'd like an extra several eyeballs, then you're welcome to go ahead. I'd rather not. Then are you ready to fight, Coyote Steve and the 3 Bane demons over there? Because that's what's going to happen next. And then we've killed a bunch of people for no reason. So
I mean,
Belle will also probably murder us.
You said that you would.
I say lots of things.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't have.
Then I wouldn't have the answer to my question.
Speaking of which, doesn't really narrow it down that much.
Certainly, somebody knows where there's a crashed ship. That's hardly a more secret piece of information. I'll ask the Arcanoloth. I'm sure it knows.
Oh.
Yeah, are you headed back towards them?
That was my plan.
That makes sense.
And November does this.
I'm still open to this argument, by the way, Blue Jay. I'm not trying to dismiss your thing.
No, I know it's fine.
I mean, I like it. It's a
like,
great conflict.
Yeah,
well,
it's really cool, and it's interesting because it's illustrating the difference between lawful good and neutral good, right? Where like you're like, yeah, well, I mean, I lied, but I lied to a demon, so is that like
still a lie?
It's one step more horrible than me.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, but yeah, the thing being is that like it makes sense what you're saying about like Belle will hate us,
Yep,
like these
totally.
guys will come after us. Also, it's a devil and probably like a bad creature in the first place, although I've never met a Sibirac, so like don't judge things by the way they look, but like, so November understands that those things are all true, but she'll probably be like, okay, like after we are done with Belle, maybe we can come back and secretly free it or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It's just like, it makes sense. Your arguments make sense. So I'm not really interested in like continuing to free this evil creature, but like.
I definitely think there's that little conversation where it's like, we'll come back after. And Sather's like, of course. After having just said, I say a lot of things.
Well, I think it's an interesting kind of thing to have come up that like sometimes you have to do bad things to accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
And I think that as you're walking back to the car, November, Lulu flutters over to you and she says, "Hey, don't worry. Keep your chin up. Sometimes bad stuff happens and you just gotta try and be extra good. Like me. I'm not normally this extra, but I figure we're in hell, so I'm just trying to be cheerful and make sure everybody doing okay. Don't worry." She gives you a little like fake punch on the chin with one of her little elephant arms.
Little headbutt.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
I appreciate that, Lulu. Like thinking about like how every time we encounter anything that's even a little bit evil, Lulu's like, it should fucking die.
I mean, that's her, but that's what she means, right?
No. Yeah, like I understand.
If Lulu could handle it, she would kill everyone on this plane. Like, she's just like, I am fucking surrounded by the evilest motherfuckers in the world, but I'm also very small. And
I'm just imagining like Super Saiyan Lulu just
blasting around.
Just trumpets and it just confettis the whole plane.
Yeah. She was the artillery commander for Zariel's original army, so she just needs a firing solution. Just say the word and she'll turn the red key.
Yeah, I have no problems with it's just my character is good.
Totally.
We're letting a thing be tortured. Like it's like I'm not. I don't think like I hope that you guys weren't like
no at all. Well, and that's the thing is like Lulu is being nice to you because she's like, well, it's just you and me now, bud. Everybody else is slowly going hell cuckoo. So
it's fine. I don't have any problems with it.
Asking out of character whether it's okay to do things. Sos Forever is gonna hang back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want to?
And
go ahead, bud.
I'm gonna say to it, I'm gonna be like, they probably couldn't do it anyway. But if you let me have a look in there, I will. And I do not break promises.
You wish to see what we have seen? I do not think you understand what you ask for.
I've been training my entire life, most of my life for this.
We shall see.
The Detect thoughts.
Okay. All right. So the Symbiox isn't going to just let you do it. You still have to make the roll. There's still the saving throw and everything. Because, if you're a good wizard like you think you are, then you'll be able to penetrate its mental defenses. And if you can't, it'll just laugh at you. And it does have an ability called Squirt Bile. Are you within 120 feet of this thing?
Probably.
Also, how good do those internal sphincters have to be to squirt bile 120 feet?
That is some power.
That is intense. Yeah, that's some
it can
mantis
warp
shrimp type
flesh.
shit.
You can sphincter up real good.
Okay, so you want to try to penetrate its mind?
Absolutely.
All right. So
But-
what's the saving throw?
The saving throw is irrelevant because it rolls a 2.
Okay, all right. What kind of saving throw is it?
It's a. Oh, that's longer than I thought it would be. Wisdom.
Okay. It rolls a 2 and chooses to succeed at its saving throw instead of failing.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah, I
that would
saw
happen.
that coming.
So what does it look like? The two of you have this mental battle where you're like trying to penetrate its mind, and there's all these layers and fortresses, and it's like, it's the equivalent of in Shadowrun when the Decker takes 45 minutes to do a hack all by themselves, but we concentrate that into a single roll. You attempt to penetrate its mind, and when you fail, does Sosorovo do anything?
Yeah, I think it's actually just because it's overwritten me changing time. I think it does something. I think it's like the classic kind of nosebleed sort of situation where like it's caused me kind of a psychic backlash because I've attempted to manipulate time to cheat this roll, and it's just been like, no.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Okay, so when it's clear to the camera that Sosorovo has failed, the voice again speaks in your mind. Such
Hubris.
pathetic mortal wizard. Now, pay the price.
ah!
And I need you to make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw.
Ah! I don't like that too. I can't even cheat that with portent. Sick deal.
Yeah, it's like you have another high portent, right? You got a 16, I think.
Yeah, that's not enough because you're not next to me anymore. Because I hang.
I
back.
mean, yep.
Alright,
I'm
I'll just roll it.
definitely-
I'll just roll. This game's easy. I always do that. Here we go. Pew!
Oh,
Just
so
do it!
close.
Just do it!
That is a 19 for our podcast listeners. A 19.
Oh,
All right, so you are poisoned,
perfect.
right? You're poisoned. You gain 1 level of exhaustion. And
Okay.
now I would love it if you rolled percentile dice for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Pew!
Okay.
Oh
Ooh,
Jesus
big
Christ! This is
100.
bad.
Big 100. All right. So
Oh,
let
I
me
hope this is-
consult my.
What
let me
is
consult
the
my
big
appendix
100?
here.
That's really bad.
Or is it really good?
Actually, I guess I can just look at the macro.
It's one or the other.
Why can I roll that on the passing save?
Let's
Seal a deal.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh
Could
god.
have just walked away, but you didn't.
yeah.
But I kind of knew it had this ability, and I kind of wanted to see what.
There it is. I found it. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness.
What is it?
So Sorovo, you
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Target grows another head,
Oh god.
causing it to have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, frightened, or stunned. So Sorovo, you grow a second head
So Grovo.
Oh
to Sorovo. So yeah, you feel a terrible sudden pain as a lump begins to form on your collarbone, and as it swells, it pushes your neck and your head off to one side. Your skin stretches as you grow a new spine, a new skull, and then flesh around this brand new copy of your own head.
You have a spare hat.
Your hat's big enough to cover both if you like quickly pull it over so it like stretches. But yeah, now you need 4 like extra eye holes in the hat or like. But yeah, so you grow a second head.
All right, can you tell me again what resistances it gives me?
Yes. So as long as you have this mutation, let me get back.
Sathra has a way to solve this problem.
Oh my god. Sathra loves to decapitate. There you go.
Keep it. It's useful.
I mean, it's like weirdly useful to have a second head. Maybe out of hell, it will cause you more problems, but like in hell, it's probably fine.
I can think about twice as many things at the same time. This is actually low-key
Is it
awesome.
like 2 brains? Do you
Yes.
distinctive Sosorovo now? Like
I have parallel processing.
You've got 2 CPUs.
Yeah. But I am poisoned.
Yep.
And I have a level of exhaustion. All right. So everybody goes back to the car. There's a few seconds, and then Sosorovo obviously screams in pain, growing an extra head, and like falls back and like kind of collapses on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And like when the scream happens, it's like, oh my god, where's Sosorovo?
Yeah, all of us are like, oh, Sosorovo.
Of course.
Bryn pauses for a moment, sees Sosorovo falls over, and then, oh, that's right, and then goes over and picks them up and carries them back. Like, was that always there, pointing at the second head?
Oh my god. What happened?
It hurt so
Are you
much.
So all of you hear in your mind,
Witness our gift.
are there any other supplicants? Come forth and taste the chaos of the abyss.
I don't feel as bad leaving it back there.
I don't feel bad for us not doing anything. Speaking of poison, I think I can fix
What
that.
happened? Why did you stay back? Why do you have
Try to read his mind. It's too
I could have
tempting.
told you that was a stupid idea.
That was a
Now
terrible
I
idea.
have 2 headaches.
It's my God's fault. It told me to do it.
Bryn sees that you look poorly and also that you have a second head and looks at Sathra and is like, Sathra may be able to solve one of these problems, but I can solve the other one, and I will
We're not cutting off his second head.
I'll lay on hands. I'm gonna expend 5 points for my pool and you recover being poisoned.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love that.
I'm pretty sure, because I think it's for every 5 points to cure one target of one disease or neutralize one poison. Would that count? Because if not, I can do lesser restoration.
Yeah, no, it's the poisoned condition. Sosorovo isn't actually poisoned, which I know,
All right.
very confusing. But no,
Then-
you keep your lay on hands.
I will instead expend a 2nd level spell slot and use lesser restoration.
Okay.
And you are no longer poisoned.
Yes, in this case, you are no longer poisoned.
And this is one of my oath spells, so it is always prepared.
Okay, but I stay exhausted.
Stay exhausted. Yeah.
That I can't help you with.
Yeah.
That's fine. Oh God, it hurts so much.
I have no time to deal with your stupidity right now. Like,
It wasn't. It should have worked. I bent reality. Oh,
Does that thing look like it cares if you bend reality or not? Like,
nothing
what?
else seems to.
I'm walking over to the
Now this
Arcana
one's
Law
hurting.
thing.
Yeah. And so as you
Prince
walk
is, like,
over,
holding
the Arcana
Sosorovo.
takes the butt of the cigarette out of its mouth and flicks it onto the ground and exhales through its nostrils. And as it looks over at Sosorovo, it shakes his head and he's like, "That's why you got to stay outside the safety perimeter there, bud. Good luck with your new dome."
Oh. Let's just go on the thing to the place. Fooling downtown.
I would be happy to hand your prisoner back over to your care. If maybe you had some information that might be helpful to me. We're looking for a downed Star Destroyer somewhere.
And he shakes his head. He's like, "Ain't no stars anywhere around here, Missy."
You know what I mean. The thing, the Zariel's
Big scary ship.
ships.
Oh, yeah. They do that sometimes. And there's one. You got a map?
Yes. Like, get the map out.
There is a hospital on the map. Please. So much.
I'm sorry, your condition is not severe enough. I think you're going to need home treatment for that. We're really trying to keep people out of the hospitals right now.
Yeah, thankfully
the hospitals in hell are all overwhelmed.
Thankfully, you don't need an
now.
expensive test to tell you that, yes, you definitely have an extra head. Okay, so to the east and south down here is a wreckage of a flying fortress.
Sweet.
And at a glance, you look there and you see, the gnarled iron of something, some sort of monolith sticking up. And as you head back to your vehicle, the imp there says, "Well, that looked like it was productive. You know where the rods are?"
The downed flying fortress.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, I've been there before. I'll take you.
Perfect.
Great,
Let's
thank
go.
you.
All right, so you all get in the vehicle and head off for one of Zariel's crashed flying fortresses.
I feel like
That's
I'm
insensitive.
I feel like I'm doing one of those, like November is doing one of those like vision tests, like make sure Sosorovo's like first and second heads are okay. And like
cover
Sosoro-
one head. And
So Zariel,
Do you-
how
do
many
you have a-
fingers am I holding up? 2, 4, no, 8, 16, 24? I don't know.
God, how does that? I just.
Yeah. So
I'm
Do
doing
not try and think about the cognitive experience of possessing.
Yeah.
We're
Like,
gonna-
are the
one
brains
set of eyes.
connected?
We're gonna
Are they-
take-
is it, like
we're gonna
two
take a short
hemispheres?
we're gonna take a short break here, and you can ponder what it means to be Zaphod Beeblebrox in the meantime. We will return shortly with the rest of today's episode of Roll20 Presents Descent into Avernus. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Thanks, Dave. That's so good.
Baldur's Gate is thrown into turmoil as the time has come for a hellish debt to be paid. The fate of an entire city hangs in the balance. Can you resist temptation and save them all, or will the seductions within Avernus prove irresistible? The Roll20 conversion of Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, is filled with over 200 new monsters, vehicles, and magic items, and comes with 28 maps complete with GM layer information and dynamic lighting for Pro or Plus users. The expansion compendium and Descent into Avernus adventure module for levels 1 to 13 is waiting for you in the Roll20 marketplace. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to today's episode of Descent into Avernus. How's your head feel, Dave?
Great. It means I can concentrate on 2 spells at the same time. Right? No.
You are no Niv Mizzet, my friend. Unfortunately not. So the party rejoins the vehicle, sets off on the road, and as we fade in from the break, we see the ruins of one of Zariel's flying fortresses. So in the distance, and as you get closer, I will describe what you see. So this towering wreck rises from the scorched hellscape. It looks like a giant sword blade tilted to a 20-degree angle and partly buried underground. Much of its exposed hull is rusted and torn asunder. Hot wind screams as it tears through the hollow structure, and 6 giant vultures circle high above it. I think I might have a piece of art for you for a flying fortress prior to its crash. So let's pop over. I'll show you that.
Play the Imperial March.
Yeah, right. There you go. So that's what it would have looked like prior to its crashing.
Okay, it's not perfectly what I thought shape was.
Yeah, the
but
top
fine.
is Star Destroyer-y, but
Yeah,
I think
it's got like a point.
cool.
Yeah.
I might
I
have
like
a piece
it.
of concept art I can share too that shows the scale a bit better. Let's take a look and make sure there's nothing spoilery on this.
On one hand, I really appreciate that they went all in on the giant flying sword thing, but I've always wondered why they go for vertical sometimes. It's just
It's
Yeah, here we
because
go.
elevators are more efficient than.
that's actually a really good point. I'd never thought of that.
So there's the flying fortress. They're 450 feet tall. You can see a tiny Chris Perkins on there. And if you look a little lower, there's like some pretty sick art of Philaster Fisk. Look at him. He's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, looking good. And then some random demons down at the bottom on
Wait,
Team-
where did we meet
Team
Philaster
Unova.
Fisk? What's that called?
He was the guy who introduced you to Lulu's wizard friend.
Yeah.
He was
He's
the
the like book nerd.
yeah.
The what?
Remember the nerd we found in the dungeon?
Yes, you saved
of
his
the
life.
cultist.
The rogue.
We saved the rogue, who was surprisingly
Oh,
effective
the
at
one who
combat.
said that he wasn't.
Remember back when this whole adventure was in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, back in
I
Baldur's Gate.
forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, flying fortress, but this one, unfortunately for the fortress itself, is crashed into the ground and is a wreck. But it supposedly contains the rods that you require. However, as you approach, a terrible storm starts up. You can see kind of scattered around the flying fortress, there's all these like fire pits. That's because this area is torn by fire and dust storms. So as you get closer, a dust storm starts, and you can see in the clouds those kinds of pyroclastic like bursts of light and heat as spontaneous eruptions of electricity and fire like start up around you. The imp on the dash, he's clinging to the windshield. He turns around, and over the sound of the wind as you're driving, he says to you, Bryn, he's like, I think we should stop here, or if you're gonna go on, you're going on without me. It's too dangerous.
Are we better to go on foot or by vehicle?
How much do you like your car? All right, I'm out of here. And he jumps off and flaps his wings, and you zoom off ahead of him as he flies off. So yeah, the vehicle is, I was gonna say the vehicle always makes like horrible noises, but it's like rattling slightly. Some of the gauges are kind of going up into the red, but yeah, it depends. You could risk the vehicle being damaged, or you could find somewhere to park it outside the plains of Firestorm and then walk. So
I think Bryn would definitely have stopped and like talk to the group about it, because the vehicle doesn't exactly offer that many protection. So if it's just going to fall apart.
yeah, it's more
But
speed, right? You can cross the dangerous territory faster if you stay on your vehicle.
If we lose the vehicle, we'll
Then
have
we're kind of
just nowhere to go. So I think it's best that we preserve it.
As terrible as that all looks, it's not like it's anything we can't handle.
Yeah, we
Hope
could
so.
always get another car. No, but we really like the car. Yeah, but we get hurt. But we have healing magic. You didn't. Yes,
So
because we didn't
All right, let's
learn
go.
message.
I'm parking the car now.
Sorovo, could you try to talk with one head at a time, please? It's very
Oh,
So
you're
and
just
Rovo
gonna try
don't
and
seem
make
to
me do
agree.
this.
What we need for you,
Very
Dave,
reasonable.
is we need like a horizontal toggle on the cam that you can flip back and forth, so you just look one way and toggle back and forth.
I was looking to see if there was like a mirror option in the camera,
Zoom,
but
yeah.
there isn't.
Yeah. So what do you think, Bryn? You're the pilot. Do you want to pull over and stop?
Yeah, Bryn will definitely pull over.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the conversation. And she sort of looks around. She's like, as good a place as any. And then just like leaves the car running, I guess, because that's how we do it with the car.
Okay. All right.
Not really
AC
another
on
option.
for Nilf.
Okay. All right. And then you head off on foot across the plains.
Onwards.
Okay. So what I need is a group survival check to pass through the storm. So everybody needs to make a survival check. Do you want me to roll for Lulu, or should we just do the four of you?
I think we can just do the.
I got a 28.
Okay. So Lulu will just follow you. Okay.
Yeah, Lulu just follow.
So we got. Okay. So Sorella.
Wow. My crit is worth nothing.
You can do it.
I got disadvantage. I don't know what you expect me to do. There you
Okay.
go.
All right. So it's not that you get lost, right? You set out across the storm. It's just that the storm is continuing to get worse, and you're noticing that it's swirling around, and in places the ground, sometimes without any warning, suddenly bubbles up and bursts, and fire spurts out of it. And it's not just like regular fire, and it's not lava. It's like tendrils of flame that seem to be like burning up, searching for something to grab hold of, and then swamping back down into the ground. Unfortunately, because you didn't succeed at the check, one of them, partway across, springs up near you, right? Bursts up out of the ground, and these lashing tendrils of fire kind of lunge out to try to grab at people. So I'm gonna roll randomly to see which person it attempts to engulf.
Do me.
Let's
Do
see.
you have to roll twice for me?
No, you're one body. So
Cool.
let's see here. It is Bryn. So Bryn, the firestorm bursts up and tendrils rush towards you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, that is not a forte. But I will try.
Okay.
Get a 6.
Oof. Okay, well, it's a good thing you have fire resistance, because
It is.
as the tendrils of fire lash out and swarm around you, you take 41 fire damage,
Ow.
reduced down to 20. And it's just burning all around you. Like, it grabs you, and it seems to like pull itself up, almost like a snake of fire, pulls itself up out of the ground and wraps itself around you and continues to try to burn you. Right? You can just feel it
No.
burning at you. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I would like to remove myself from this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like I can just, tear away with physical force, or do I have to that's her first instinct would be to flail effectively.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to try to just run out from the fire, like pick a direction and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
All
that'd
right.
be her
Yeah. So
first
you
instinct.
throw your arms up, sort of tear free of the fire, and as you rush away, the tendrils start searching again, looking for someone else to grab. So I'm gonna roll for the remaining party members as it attempts to find someone else. Sosorovo, dexterity save, please, as the fire snake burns in your direction.
Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba. 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 10.
Okay, all right.
Oh, no.
So Sosorovo, you are engulfed in flames. You take 41 fire damage.
Youch. I think
So it just
Bryn,
flies over, and now it's swarming around Sosorovo.
Love to see
seeing
it.
that, realizing that this thing, we all needed to get away
Yeah.
quickly, is going to
Try and dispel it. Meh.
Yeah, you want to try to spell it?
Yes, please.
Okay, make a check.
Okay. Cast
That's
the third level.
spell check.
Sorry, I need to double check what the DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, and you roll using a spellcasting ability. This is an ability check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. She's got disadvantage on this. I'm going to go ahead and roll 16 plus 5 for 21.
Okay. All right. So you despite being surrounded by flames, you managed to get enough attention on your thoughts to call forth the final words that allow you to cast Dispel Magic, and with a 21, you dispel the storm. So as it's swirling around you, you put your hands out, glowing sigils appear, and it fizzles out and disappears. Now, there's still in the distance, so these geysers of flame kind of popping up, and the storm's still blowing around you, but it looks like you have a clear shot now to the fortress.
And now I'm on fire. This is the worst day ever.
I'll pat Sosa over on the back.
Really? You think this is the worst day? Don't you remember? Shut up. I don't want to think about it.
Do you want some hit points?
Yes.
I don't know where you're at. Like,
15.
15.
I'm a wizard.
Oh God, you're so squishy. I'll give you 20. Let's go for that.
Thanks. Like over half now.
Okay. All right. So you managed to escape the other.
November.
Oh, go ahead.
November resists saying, like, maybe that's why you shouldn't read people's minds without their consent.
Because what, you get burned by a fire later?
Yeah.
Maybe these two things that are unrelated are actually related. You ever thought about that?
Karma. It's karma.
So what did Bryn do?
So far, Bryn has only
Turn
been rewarded
evil,
for
I
being
don't know.
awesome. So you arrive at the periphery of the ruined flying fortress. So the whole structure is 150 feet, right? But most of the bottom decks have been picked clean. And looking at it, you can see where a big piece of the front armor, the bulkhead, is peeled away and fallen into the dirt. So you can see the various floors, and there's still interconnected areas, wind howling through it, creatures up above. And it seems like the only part of it that's still intact is the command deck up at the front top. That seems to still be mostly intact. The rest of it kind of hit the ground. And you look behind it, you can see a long, deep canyon, a gouge where this thing crashed, slid, tipped over, and stopped. So before you, there's the lower levels, and then the way up above. How do you want to get in? Do you want to just walk in and climb around in there? Do you want to try to fly up to the top? What do you think?
I mean, we got to find like an entrance, right?
Yeah. And there would have been a port or whatever that you could go into, but it's underground now. But thankfully the whole front is ripped off, so you can just walk in.
Sweet. Let's walk through the wreckage of a crashed spaceship. That sounds awesome.
Hold on.
Yeah.
When you got told, didn't they say it had been stolen?
They said that it would be in the cargo hold.
The rods had been stolen from Bell.
From Bell by
Bell.
Zariel.
By
By
Zariel.
Zariel.
Zariel's
They-
agent.
I
And this
believe
is
it's one of
Zariel's
Zariel's
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a Zariel crashed thing.
It's got a big
Okay.
Z on the side.
It's,
That's
it's
how you know.
hard to
This is Zorro's ship.
remember things.
It's got in the Power Rangers.
It's just going to spaceship, I guess.
Yeah, you want to head in?
Inwards.
All right.
I think they said something like cargo hold. So I guess I don't know. Cargo holds on boat ships.
Like I
are
said, most
towards
of the lower
bottom.
levels, and this becomes more clear as you enter the lower decks. These areas are just riddled with holes, right? You walk through several areas where you can like look up through multiple decks where like a meteor came and like broke through the ship and like drilled a hole through several of the decks, or a weapon, a demon weapon or something.
Sorrovo, now would be the time for that locate object spell.
Oh, right. Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
I know that. I knew that.
Yeah, because it's only 450 feet tall.
Because
so no
it's
matter
not
what,
that big. Yeah.
Yeah,
everything's
no,
within 1,000 feet.
wait, bear with me. Come on. Look. Jeez. Adamantine rods. Right. Where would they be?
In the cargo hold.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I cast the spell.
All right. So what does it tell you?
Locate a specific object known to you, as long as you've seen it up close. Alternative spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind.
Okay. All right.
You sense the direction to the object's location.
Okay. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead blocks a direct path between you and the object.
You make a spaceship out of lead.
Let me just
that's
let me
not
just
great.
check.
That would be interesting.
But it's not great for spaceship making.
It depends.
No, you're good.
Is
You're good.
hell
I was
energy
just checking something.
radiation?
So, yes, there. It is above you. You can feel that there are adamantine rods ahead of you and up. And as you look, magic draws your eyes to the command deck. You got to get up there.
Yep. The bit with being not broken.
That would make sense. Well, do we see any like path that would lead up in any capacity?
You could attempt to like climb through some of the holes in the floor. There are obviously like ladders. There's sections where like the elevator shaft you can climb up it. Yeah, you could traverse the interior without too much trouble.
Do we want to try that first, or do we want to just pop all our fly-based abilities? I'd almost like to save those for the way down, just in case.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with
The
that.
thing is like you might not be able to get in from the outside, and
Yeah.
so then like even if you could fly up there, you only have a minute to find a way in. Like I could
Yeah.
be a flying creature for a lot longer than that. So
Yeah.
I'm the one with the shortest.
How
time.
long would I guesstimate that this is going to take to do clambering? Perhaps.
It really depends. Several hours, maybe. There's a lot of debris and what have you.
Okay. I was just thinking because locate object only lasts 10 minutes, but I know that.
You know basically what it is, yeah. And if you're worried, like if you get up there and it's not there, you can cast it again and see if they've moved it or whatever.
Right, exactly. If we're climbing, someone's probably going to need to carry me. I'm not
I
being
can
a
carry
baby
you.
this time. I'm just not look. Can I reach this high?
Like we just tie you to Bryn's back. I'm very strong.
All right, great.
So
Should we climb?
up then. Let's go.
Okay,
Mhm.
so athletics checks from everybody. Bryn, if you're going to try to carry Sosorovo, you'd be making yours a disadvantage.
Can I
Because
tie him
Sosorovo's-
to me?
I'd still, like,
Okay.
it's unwieldy.
I think it's probably still better that I make them at disadvantage than
Yeah,
Sosorovo
you at
attempt to make them
disadvantage
a
is better than
disadvantage.
That's fine.
I get a 12.
Not bad. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you start to climb. This whole place is a massive tetanus risk, right? Lots of like gnarled metal. You see
Fine, I think
various.
I'm immune to a disease.
You see various like
Yeah.
pipes that are broken who have like gushed various fluids onto the floor. And as you pass through this place, you can see like it is I think none of you can help but imagine what kind of like horrific damage something like this could do if it was like over the air of Waterdeep, or like it's a good thing that the prime material doesn't have these things floating around because they are very dangerous. And I think that partway up, you do find an enormous. I think once you get like you're following a pipe that runs kind of like the spine of the thing, right? It's along the back, big cylindrical pipe. There's a part where you're climbing up it, and then you find in the center there is there's a hatch on this pipe, right? So you climb off of it to go find another way up because you're blocked by a ceiling above you. There's this enormous pipe, and there's a big hatch, and it says on top of it in Infernal Runes, it says soul intake.
Cool.
Yeah. So you see this hatch as you pass it, and it looks like it's a place where they can feed soul coin. Imagine how many soul coins it takes to run this thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So this would be a place where you'd shovel them into the engine, and they would head down into the machine that powers this.
and she has more than just one of these things.
Yeah. So
Why are we trying to kill her again? This seems like a really bad idea.
Technically, we're not trying to kill her. We're trying to give her sword back so she becomes not evil.
That's right. You don't have to kill her. You can redeem
And then
her.
we don't have to kill her. And then Belle gets to be happy and we get to leave this horrible place.
Mhm.
I mean, technically before she fell, she was still down here fighting people like Belle. So I don't know. I mean, they've
Well,
been at
then
war
she
for a
can
really long time. Maybe
do
he
that
does
again.
enjoy that. Either way, he'd be in charge, right? That's what he wants. I don't know what he wants. This
I
place
think
is
he wants to be in charge.
The only thing that
seems-
any devil ever wants, and that's to move up the ladder one rung.
Speaking of which, chop chop.
Cool. All right. So you are
I punched Sosorovo in the back of one of his heads.
Shut up, punk.
has
Twice
the-
as susceptible.
Has wherever they were taking the soul coins to shovel them into the furnace been thoroughly onced over already? Like, are there any soul coins left around? Okay.
No, there aren't any. Yeah, that would be the first.
I didn't want to get too. I didn't want to get too close to it because if it's soul intake, it might intake your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
GG.
Okay, so you're climbing up through this thing, and I think that as you get to a level below the command deck, right? You spend several hours climbing up here, and above you there's a hatch. Now, normally there'd be like a staircase or an elevator that would lead you up here, but I think, let me just double check. I think this is the easiest place for you to get in. Let's see. Yeah, you have to, and this is probably the part where it would be like, you have to go, basically you're on this level and the command deck is above you. This part has been broken off and you have to go outside, grab the edge and then pull yourself up to get up to the next level.
You got to Nathan Drake it.
Yeah.
Lara Croft it.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. But you all made your athletics rolls and stuff already. So when we begin, I got a map of the command deck here, and I'll put everybody on or near the area, and then I'll bring you over here.
We could have flown.
Well, we'll get there. So as you get to this point, right, you pull yourselves up and you look out. Now you're way up high. You look out over the vast distance of the plane. The vultures that were flying around above you, they're not vultures. They're vulture-shaped humanoids. They're purple-skinned. They have vulture heads, but they have like human arms and legs and big gray vulture wings, and they're just flying around up above. And it's clear from here that they are looking for... If you had flown up, you would have alerted them, and they would have come after you. So they're flying in perimeter around it. So you pull yourself up over the edge, and you're in this area. There is as Bryn, as you can see, there's a hallway off to your left with several doors along it. And then Sathra, you can see into this other room over here. And let me just give you a quick, if there's any description here. The room that you're looking into on the east side, that room is a chamber containing a stripped down metal console and several rusty pipes extending from floor to ceiling. One of the pipes has a 2-foot long gouge in it. And then on the other side over here, I think, you can only see that there is just a metal hallway with doors alongside. And the doors, each door has a number on it, right? It's numbered 1 through 4 on that side. There's also another bigger hallway up this way.
So we've climbed up. And Bryn kind of like looks at Sosurova, who's very clearly still leading the way. Points in all the various directions.
If we go that way, it looks like it leads deeper. That way, it looks like it leads to several small rooms. Your choice.
Well,
Do you need me to recast the spell? I can do that.
Should we start with the several small rooms just in case? Or should we just go deeper? Because that seems far more likely.
May as well start with what we're not going to backtrack to.
Great. There's one like right next to Bryn, right? That's
there's a door right there. Yep.
She kicks it open. She opens it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Normally the doors, you would grab them and slide, but these ones are stuck, and so you have to kind of grab it and pull it open. So inside there is a small room, and in that room you see. Let's see here. So in this tiny little room, there is essentially a closet with a chair bolted to the floor and a miniature console of some kind. So it's like a little machine, and the machine has on it a series of keys. And on the keys, each key has a single infernal character, and they're arrayed out on a platter kind of in the front of this machine. And next to it on the floor, there is a pile of a long string of paper that is like coiled up and laying on the floor, and it's covered in infernal runes as well.
Can I see what the runes say?
Yeah, Bryn steps out of the way for the smart people.
Yes, you want to go and take a closer look? Okay. So you notice also that on the wall on the far side, there is a metal horn coming out of the wall, and it's pointed at the chair.
Oh, you say things here. So what like Do the runes say something in Infernal?
If you pick up the paper and you look at it, it's in some kind of shorthand. It doesn't make sense to you. It might be military code of some kind. Yeah.
Okay. It's gibberish. It's infernal, but it's infernal gibberish. I don't know.
All right. Well, I don't think
Magic
it's that
gibberish or just
I've seen scrolls of this and that before. It's not one of those.
weird.
Try the next one, Bryn.
Onwards and onwards goes to the next door.
Is Bryn drunk?
I mean,
are you okay, Bryn? Are you okay?
no, I'm having a crisis of identity. I feel very strange.
All right, same thing.
Totally.
It's another similar room.
She'll
little desk.
repeat the process.
Yeah. Okay. So as you go down the hall and you look behind each door, there's one of these little closets, and that's it. And that's what you see as you go up and down that way.
Some kind of room to sit and talk to people.
Could be. I maybe they will operate weapons out of these rooms or something. It's a big ship.
Yeah, the amount of things you'd have to do on a thing this big.
Just communications, I guess.
Someone was alive, we could ask them.
Well,
No adamantine rods, though.
the other
No.
way then, I guess.
No rods.
Yes, I suppose it's this way.
Okay, so this
to
is the room I
the-
described before. There's a big pipe sticking out of the wall with a gash in it, and then just the desk. There's another room here. There's a door, and then there's a much larger opening that leads out into the wide open
Oh,
kind of
it does.
gash. Yeah. So if you come around this corner, you can see into this main area. This is what would have been the command deck at some point. Though much of the front of it has been sheared off. There's broken glass and twisted metal all over the place. And I might have a description for you. Let me check. Here we go. Sparks rain down from gashes in the ceiling of what used to be the bridge, much of which is now open to the sky. The room appears to have been picked clean, though rows of stripped down consoles and a few dangling chains remain.
I mean, adamantine rods aren't exactly subtle looking. We would see them. I don't see them.
Depends how big a
I
rod
actually
it
know
is.
how big they are. So
Come on, just cast the spell. Well, they told us that they could look for themselves. We'll just leave them to it for a minute.
Bryn glances back at Sosrova clearly talking to themselves.
Just let
It's
Sosrova
strange
have
that
their
they seem
moment.
to have electricity going through things. Was someone just
What's
casting it the
this-
whole time?
Hey,
How does
Adam,
that
can I get
work?
a better look at these consoles in case
Yeah.
there's...
Yeah, definitely. So you approach the consoles. There's probably a roll to be made here to figure out what the hell they do.
Yeah, for sure. I can
Um,
do investigation or...
Yeah, let me
or-
look. These ones, they're all pretty badly busted up. I think you could probably guess by glancing at them that they have some sort of feature of controlling the vehicle, right? Piloting the thing.
I'm mostly just looking for adamantine rods.
Yes, yeah.
If there are any slotted into this stuff, or,
Sure,
you
because
know what
you
I
don't
mean?
really know
Like,
what you're looking
I'm
for.
not really sure what I'm
all
looking
You
for,
can make
yeah.
it a general investigation check if you like. Is anybody else going to help, Sathra?
Sounds
I
good.
was gonna say, yeah.
I mean,
Also very interested.
Cool.
Also very distracted at the same time.
Yeah,
So-
18.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if you could find consoles that are still functional, they would definitely have more to say. These ones look all busted up, and they look like they've been torn open. And there are places where stuff is obviously missing, components of the thing that have been taken. Yeah. And while you're doing that, and while
Okay.
everybody else is looking around, Blue Jay, you had a question. That's a door. Do you want to open
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I wanted to open it.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll answer that question. There's the door that's open now. And while you're all looking around, you hear outside the unmistakable roar of at least two, maybe more, infernal engines outside. You can hear them roaring over the sound of the storm outside.
Can I get to the ledge and look
Yeah, you wanna
down
take a
at
look?
him to see what's there?
Yep. Okay. So we do it'd be like a Firefly style, like shaky cam, like Battlestar Galactica pan out, right? Where we see you like looking and then it like pans back and we can see that there are 2 vehicles. Actually, I guess there's 3 and a big cloud of dust behind them rushing towards the fallen fortress.
How far away would you say that these vehicles are?
Yeah. Like how long until they get here?
Yeah.
15 minutes maybe.
But also, like, how far in feet are they away?
As we know, adventurers.
I have
very good at
sharpshooter.
distances.
Yeah.
And 600 feet means I can start shooting and they don't get cover.
They will be within 600 feet eventually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. However, there's maybe a more pressing concern. So when you come to the edge and you look around, we see you and then we cut to one of these flying vulture people who spots you, lets out a squawk of alarm to the others, and they all start flying down towards you.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
I shoot them right now.
Yeah. Okay.
From whatever distance.
Warn your friends. Okay.
Well, I mean, when I start going, time to shoot it stuff. Like,
yeah. Let me see how far. If it says how far away they start, like what their perimeter is.
I kind of imagine your long bow. Instead of making the kind of arrow twang, it probably like hisses like a hydraulic almost.
Like snake hiss.
All right, so
noise.
their perimeter is only 50 feet. They're 50 feet away from the deck. But yeah, you spot them and you spot them spotting you. Do you want to take a shot and we can roll initiative?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll put them down here. They're off map right now, but go. Okay.
That's a lot of bird things.
Yeah, let me show you the picture because I definitely have a handout of these scary bastards.
This is a few birds.
Like it. Birds are hard for me to fight.
Vrox.
Yeah.
Good old Vrox.
Good old Vrox. Okay, so this cadre of Vrox are they're on their way to deal with you. So let me pop the initiative tracker.
I wonder.
Yes, I do have that scorching ray.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Can I put a wall of fire just suspended in the air?
I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to double check.
Oh, cool. All right. I figured out what I'm gonna do my first round.
Are we okay to initiative? Oh,
Yeah, please.
it's just
Yeah.
taking a
Oh,
second to
yeah,
go
yeah.
through for me.
My bad.
Remember
that's
to
fine.
be patient with Roll20.
Oh man, the
Lots of
Rocks are
people
gonna get to go
can do
before
that.
me, even though I said I'm gonna shoot. Sad day.
Miffles, why?
Yeah, because they spotted you and
It's one of those
things.
Stop
Fucking
wasting
stupid
those.
ass Rocks that I don't get to Alpha Strike at all, and that are gonna drag me off the fucking ledge, and then I'm gonna die. It's cool. I know how it goes. It's fine.
all right. So we don't
It's
actually
bad
have to
when
do
things
this
go
fight
like
because Elf has already decided how it's gonna go. So thanks for
I
saying
already know what's gonna happen. I'm
Hey,
right on the
look.
edge. Of course, you're gonna grab me and pull me off.
You're fine. I got a free one of those, so this will be your turn. You'll just survive. It'll be
Okay,
fine.
so Miffles. Anything from Miffles?
Not yet. No, thank you.
Okay, all right. So the Vrox.
Well, they got 50 feet to go. Maybe
Yeah, they're
not
50 feet
that
away.
fast.
They may not get to attack, but let's see what their movement rate is.
Maybe they're not that fast. It's fine.
60 feet.
It is indeed 60 feet. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Okay,
fucking hate
so
you.
they're 50 feet. Let's assume they're 40 feet from where they currently are, and I'll just spread them out kind of like evenly. And then some of them would be further away because they're not all hovering in a cloud. They're kind of like moving around the outside.
Okay.
So I will. Okay, so let's assume they're like kind of like that. Okay, all right. So 40 feet from here means this one will fly and land there. That one will go there. These ones have to move their whole turn. That one's still have to fly. Okay, and then the one's over here. Not a lot of other entrances. So this one's going to go there. And that's its whole turn. And then same with this one. It's got to go all the way around. Actually, I guess it can go over. So that'll be what it's going to do. I put it behind a bunch of other shit. Here we go. Okay, so this one will fly over and land.
It's okay. I can turn into a giant vulture too.
Okay, all right. So there's only two Vroks that get to land and like do things. So these two that are in here, they're gonna go. So one of them flies in towards you, Sathra.
Yep.
And is going to attack. So it's gonna get a beak attack and 2 talons.
Okie doke.
Okay, so here's the first one. It's a 12. Second attack.
17.
Okay, second attack is a 20.
Cool.
For 19 slashing.
Oh, great.
And the third one is a 15. Okay, so
Okay.
one claw. So they land and only 2. Ignore that last one. They get 1 and 1, not 3 attacks.
Oh,
It's beak.
okay.
It's beak talent. You still take the hit, but that
Are you-
third roll
Yeah, got it.
shouldn't have
Yeah,
happened. Okay,
it's fine.
and then Sosrovo, same. Beak attack. I got a 13, which I assume is a miss.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, and then Talon attack. I got an 11. Okay, all right. So you're able to avoid them. They suddenly like fly in. You can hear them. There's another one around this corner over here, and they're coming in from above. And yeah, they've all sort of swarmed in quickly. November, you are the first PC to go. Oh, and I got to roll for dumbass elephant moron. Okay.
Dumbass elephant moron.
All right, so she'll go after you. All right, it's your turn, and I think probably as you're exploring that little room, that's when you hear Lulu being like,
November, there's demons, come help!
Oh God. Okay. Let me just, because I don't know which direction I need to go. Because obviously Lulu and Sathro are both reporting like we're being attacked.
yeah.
I think I can move. Let's see. Okay, so I was there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Is this area like open enough? Like, are these vultures flying in the whole area or?
Yeah, this basically like the ceiling is along like here. Everything else is open to the air.
Okay.
There's maybe like above you because there's like sparks coming out. So there's like jagged like sponsons and like they would be the ribs of this deck, but all the plating has been torn off. So there's still stuff sticking out over you, but it's not ceiling enough to matter.
Okay. I think that first I'm gonna conjure some creatures, and
Okay.
then next turn I might turn into a flying creature.
Okay,
just
what
to help.
kind of creatures are you summoning?
I think that the conjure animals is probably going to be more helpful, just to kind of eat up some attacks.
Okay. What's CR?
So I'm taking a look at the spell. So let's do 4 beasts of challenge rating half or lower, but like
Okay.
that's kind of, that would be mean. I don't like that wording, honestly. The beasts of challenge rating half or lower. You could do whatever you wanted. Yeah, so 4 beasts of challenge rating half, and that's the spell.
Okay. Let me just switch the overlay back now that I'm done with.
Reef sharks.
I mean, don't tempt me.
They can't. That's so rude.
Reef sharks are the best.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's monkey around. So you conjure 4 apes,
Sick.
and they get how many extra hit points?
Let me check. Wait, I put it in the sheet because
Bunch
I'm
of
smart.
damn dirty apes.
It goes into Mighty Summoner. They get 2 extra hit points per hit die.
Okay. Currently, apes have 3 hit dice.
So 6.
Okay.
Each.
They all start with 25 hit points. Nice.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Wow, 100 HP worth of stuff. Good shout.
Okay.
And then, I just probably, because most of us are in this room.
The entire Kong family.
Yeah, exactly. I would direct them to, attack vultures, but don't like jump off of the thing. Like, don't attack a vulture that's not in here.
I'd like to give a special shout out to Andy Serkis for participating in this episode today. Thank you, Andy. Okay. All right. So you just command them to attack the vulture creatures.
Yes.
And then what? Anything else?
I want to see if this is a bonus action or. Oh, sorry. I didn't.
It is a bonus action. You can summon.
It is a bonus action. Okay. 5 plus your druid level and extra temporary hit points. Advantage on strength checks. I feel like. What do we think? The advantage on attack roll, strength.
The strength check thing would be really good in case Elf is right about the dragging off and thingying, because it would help with the grapple checks against those.
Okay.
Presumably.
Yeah. Like strength to like keep. It's like dig your hands into the ground, stay on the ground, sort of thing. Massive bear
as well.
Yeah, so a massive bear spirit appears in the center of the room, a nice polar bear friend. And it grants everybody 14 temporary hit points.
I love temporary hit points.
And advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Okay, there you go. There's your
HP.
There's your bear.
Sweet deal.
I love it. And that's my bonus action, my action, and my movement. So I'm done.
Nicely done. All right. So the apes will go right before Bryn.
Cool.
Okay. So Lulu shouts,
Don't worry, everybody. I got this one.
and then flies off into the hallway over here. All right. It's magical trumpet time. So Lulu's going to blast that trumpet. Here come the sparkles.
She's gonna drop the bass.
That's right. Here come the sparkles. Where are you?
I think you remember the dubstep gun from Saints Row.
I sure do.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So Trumpet of Sparkles. It's going to be a saving throw with disadvantage from the Vrock.
Oh, yeah. The apes get the temp HP too.
Good for the apes.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. I'll do that in a sec. So
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Con save, disadvantage. I get a 8. All right, so it's full damage. 48 plus 4 radiant. 29 radiant damage. So you hear the unmistakable air horn blast of Lulu's trumpet in the other room. Lulu, brought to you by DJ Khaled. All right, So and Rovo.
I imagine it's like a vuvuzela,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Leo, waiting to try this one out. Big hand. Big bee's hand.
Okay. All right. You want to conjure up a big hand?
Yeah, I would love to, please.
Okay. Where would you like it to go?
Just next to me, kind of in front. So these 4 squares, I think.
Okay. I'm just looking to see if I have any cool hand tokens that I can use.
Yeah, give him the big hand.
Biggie's hand. That's even better. Man, I'm changing all the spells that say Big B to Biggie now. That's way better. Okay, let's see. We got a ghost hand. That's a good option. Let's see here. Ooh, a living burning hands. That's cool. Magical force hand. That one's pretty good. Let's see if I have any other really good ones. Ooh, is this one animated? Fuck yeah. Okay. Sorry, unanimated version. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
Wiggly boy.
Look at it wiggling. That's cool. There's like an ungraded and a graded version. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, when you show it, it does it in a... Oh, that's sick as hell.
Isn't that cool? I love it. I'm so
Yeah,
addicted to the stupid animated effects, like animated spell effects packs. I'm just like, yes,
Yeah,
please.
it's so great.
Yeah,
so
I'll
great.
take them. Okay, so you have hover. You've conjured your hover hand.
Yep. It's 2x2. It's large.
Woo! It is a biggie hand. Okay, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie, it's like doing this every so often, and I'm just like,
It's wobbling like this, and it kind of
like
makes
wobbling,
it look
but
like...
then it sometimes looks like it's squeezing,
Yeah,
and I'm
a
just like,
bit like
really?
an obstacle illusion.
Well, how else are you gonna grab Big B's enormous ghost titty? Huh? Tell me that.
Thank you.
Tell me that.
I wasn't going there.
I'm happy to go there. Right, is it a concentration spell, Sosorovo?
It is.
Okay. And how long does it last?
A minute.
Okay. All right. So there's the spell. It's got 10 rounds. Okay. Anything to do with your bonus action or?
Yes, as my bonus action, I can make it do something.
Okay.
Make it grab.
You make it slap that Vrock.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's grab or slap. That's
Also, if anybody
two
is
things.
imagining that these are just more combat capable Skeksis, you are on the right track with that one.
Yeah, it's pretty much Brock's.
Yep.
okay.
One of them's name is Dwayne. Dwayne the Vrock Johnson.
Nice.
He's super
What
ripped.
are you cooking?
All right. Big B's hand is gonna
good.
grasp this rock.
Okay.
You use the hand strength score to resolve the grapple. We have the bear totem.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Perfect. Since I used the things thing, it's advantage. So 1 plus 26 strength. Sick.
Sorry, Sosorovo. Each creature
Yeah, the hand is
Of
not
your
a,
choice.
The hand is not a creature.
in the
It's a
aura
creature.
when
No, it
the
isn't.
spirit
Does
appears.
it say that? Does it have hit points? Can it be struck?
When-
It does have hit points.
Okay, it doesn't
It's an
matter.
object.
It doesn't matter when the spirit appears. The bear, it wasn't there when the bear
Oh, it wasn't there
spirit
already.
appeared.
Yeah,
Oh,
unfortunately.
okay.
Oh, I'm just gonna punch it then.
Okay. What's its armor class and how many hit points does it have?
20 AC and hit points equal to my hit point maximum, which is 56.
Cool.
Sweet. This is a good hand.
Okay.
That's how many hit points I have right now.
Yeah, it's more than me.
I will make a macro after this time. but
grabby.
for now-
Okay. All right. So what does it do? It has to make an attack roll to
Yeah,
grab
it's-
it. Okay.
It's not going to grab anymore because I was doing grab because I had
So
advantage.
it's gonna
but-
smack.
Yes, I'm just rolling.
It's just
my
the last
spell
boss of
attack.
Smash Bros, isn't it?
Sure is.
Yeah, it's just Master
Master
Hand.
hand. Okay.
Actually, I think the temp HP and the advantage are separate.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna roll this.
Because if you look at the reading of it, it says you gain the hit
It's still
points-
not a creature though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
This is a 14 hit.
It does not.
You're right
Uh,
about the timing though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been
Big
reading a
B's
lot of
hand.
magic cards, and you know the difference between how the things are phrased is important.
Sucks Big B's hand. Okay, I'm gonna move away as well because I do not want to stay. in
the
combat,
hand is
so-
not a creature. The hand is an object.
object.
That's
Yes, it is an
that's the
object.
word I was looking for. Yeah. So if you have things that affect objects, yeah. So if you hit Big B's hand with the crusher on the back of the car, it would deal extra damage.
Yeah. But I totally don't want to do
He's
that.
got a hand chasing your car.
See,
Okay,
this
all
is
right.
another
So it-
instance of like we should have taken the big sword because then the big hand could like.
Move it around. So it tries to punch the Vrock. The Vrock leaps out of the way and it smashes into the console. Sparks fly everywhere. And that is the end of your turn, Sosorovo?
No, I'm moving away so it gets its AOO.
Okay. The Vrock does. Okay.
Yeah, if it wants.
It definitely do. It is going to lunge for you with its talons. I got a 17.
I cast shield as a reaction.
Okay.
And then I move away 5. And I'm getting to the back of the room behind everyone else because I'm doing a concentration spell.
right. Sounds good.
That's it for me.
Okay. All right. That means sorry,
you skipped
Sathra. Yeah, no,
Sathra's
I know.
turn.
I hit the button twice. Sathra, go ahead.
So I'm gonna shoot arrows at this rock that's still above nothing.
Okay.
For the moment.
Do you get disadvantage because you're standing next to that other rock?
It's unclear because it's disadvantaged when you are firing in melee, but
It is no. It's if you're within 5 feet of a creature.
all right, fine. I move 5 feet away, hit me with something, and
Okay.
then I'll shoot it.
Yeah, that's fine.
The
All
weird
right.
thing is, if it's a creature with reach, you can move 5 feet away. It doesn't get an attack of opportunity, but you negate the thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
For some
Okay, so it
reason.
lunges at you as you back
Yeah,
off.
give me.
I got
give
a
me the
21.
lunge. That hits me.
So you take 21 slashing. Rakes its
Yes,
claws.
I love taking massive amounts of damage from 5 things that are gonna kill our faces off. Cool. All right, so I shoot this rock then.
Okay.
Pew, longbow. Here we go. Here we go. Zap!
God damn!
And then I
that
Eldritch
bad boy.
Smite that nerd out of the sky. Here we go. All right. So that's 22 on the bow plus 10d8 on the crit for 51 damage. And it's knocked prone, thus not flying anymore. Goodbye.
Jesus Christ, Elf.
Bye, Rock.
Okay, so it takes another 10d6 damage as it falls.
God.
So it takes another 35. It is not dead.
What?
Yeah. So you hit it.
When there are 5 of these.
Yeah. So you hit it in the air. It spirals down. You see it crash on the ground.
73.
It is now 105 feet, I think is the...
That's 108 damage and it's not dead.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
not
god.
Just so you know. Oh, Adam, I shoot it a second time.
Okay. Yep. That's fine.
It's
It's prone
this
now,
time.
so you have disadvantage.
Never mind. I shoot this other one.
Okay.
Fuck it.
It's pretty
not gonna-
far away.
It's not gonna make its way back up here.
Not for a while.
Are any of them
Yeah,
still
it'll take at least a whole turn.
landed? No, they're all on the ground and stuff. Wait, is this one flying or is it?
No, it's landed. They've all landed now, except the one
Damn
that's
it.
down on the ground.
All right, I shoot the one next to me then.
Okay.
The one on the left there. With the longbow. So that's 13 damage.
Okay.
And can I Eldritch Smite a second time? I think I can. No, once per turn.
Yeah.
Never mind. I can't do it.
Okay.
So that's it.
Just
13
fucking
damage.
snapping arrows at things. And cool. Okay.
That's all I
So
got.
the apes, chimpanzee through chimpanzee, they get, I think I owe them some bonus. So I gave them the 6
Yeah.
hit points. What
Yes.
else? There was another thing.
They get 14 temporary hit points.
Oh my god, they're such beefy apes.
Such a good combo. This is how the class goes into its own.
There you go. Yeah, Jesus, they're so much better. The 15. Did you say it was 15?
14.
14. Okay. So yeah, they have 39 hit points apiece now.
Go forth, my ape minions.
Go
39
for it.
of their original 19.
Kill him. Attack.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So the apes, yeah, they rush towards the closest target. Actually, they have a missile attack. So what I think they're gonna do is these
The apes have a missile attack?
Yeah. So the apes all go
Do
over
they
to whatever.
fling poo?
No,
or
they go over to
what?
whatever piece of broken machinery is nearest them, and they start ripping off pieces and throwing them at the rocks, just like
Nice.
screeching and like tearing off console chunks and throwing them.
Sweet.
So one of the apes, yeah, Hux, I'm gonna just use rock stats, but yeah, throws, grabs a piece and then comes, let's see, 25 feet. Yeah, so hops over there, and these 3 all start throwing rocks at this one, trying to drive it away. Rocks, big chunks of machinery. So 1.
It's rock on rock violence.
Ooh, a crit. Nice job, monkey. All right. So the first one deals 7 bludgeoning damage.
That looks
Nice.
like eight bludgeoning.
Yeah, 7. Well, it's 8, and then it's cut in half, so it's 4.
Yeah, except that all attacks are magical.
They're magical,
aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah. From Blue Jay summon stuff.
From my summons, their attacks are magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance. It's literally what it says.
No, I understand, but I'm
You're trying
wondering
to
if
decide whether throwing a rock.
It
Yeah.
says the damage from its natural weapons is considered magical for the purpose of the opponent.
That's the whole sentence. Okay,
Cool.
so then,
all right. So they do half then.
So yeah, they do half because they don't know any better. But if you shout at them like, no, with your fists, then we'll
Like,
we'll do
I
the
didn't
full
even
thing.
know that they had a thrown attack, so I couldn't have.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how it goes. You part of the price of like summoned creatures is they're not totally predictable or under your control. So yeah, so they're hugging rocks at this hugging piece of machinery at this rock. This one I think then we'll just say he goes in because he's close enough already. And so this
Whack him.
this ape, Dr. Zaius over here is going to make 2 fist attacks,
Saucers.
a 21 and a 13. I tried to think of 4 ape names and I could only come up with 3. Cornelius, Dr. Zaius, Zira. I guess Caesar if you want to
Curious
cheat.
George.
Ong?
Well, no, I was thinking of just the apes from the movie from Planet of the Apes. I wanted them to have a
okay.
theme. I guess Caesar's the cheat on that one. Okay, so it hits once for 8 bludgeoning damage. There we go. Okay. All right. Bryn, your turn. Suddenly there's apes all over the deck. There's apes in space.
There's a lot of stuff to be hit. I can't believe that one's not dead. That's on the ground. We're in so much trouble. I'm gonna like focus fire. So Bryn moves up to this one with an ape friend on it.
Mhm.
And hopes that Sosurova will be okay from the other one that's like kind of close to Sosurova.
No, I just ran away from it. You're supposed
This
to block
one.
me. Yeah, go and block that one. Ah, protect me.
Yeah, this one is definitely looking at Sosurova like, I'm
yeah,
gonna fucking eat your face.
all right. Bryn sees that and is like, no. That's not how this works. And so Mason hand, she'll go at the Brock.
Sounds like the name of a hard-boiled detective. Detective Mason Hand.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's right up there with Intrepid Inspector Mark Progress.
I don't think I hit.
A 12 does not. It does not
All
do it. You
right.
take a swing and it slaps your mace out of the way.
Try
Snarling
again.
at you. Second time though,
27.
it's always that backhand. Thunk.
It's a backhand. She's very good at backhand. I'm gonna Divine Smite.
Okay.
Because that just seems like the right.
Yes, we must bring the noise.
For 20. God, that was
Okay, 20 radiant
not great
damage.
roll.
Nice. Okay.
20,
All right.
20 radiant, or I guess 10 radiant, 10 bludgeoning.
Okay, cool.
That is her
That's it.
turn.
All right. Miffles?
Miffles is going to. Ooh, I'm not moving myself. I'm just moving.
Yeah, I understand. You just get out of the way so Miffles can fly.
Going to move here and give the hand advantage on the next attack against the rock. Please.
Okay. All right. So disadvantage on the next attack against this. Or advantage on the next attack. Not he has disadvantage.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Got it. Okay. All right. So rock time. So let's see. This one here, I guess the one down here flies, gets off its ass, which takes half its movement, and then flies 60, 70, 90 feet, I guess, up in the air. So it's 15 feet down and in this direction. So you might have a second chance to drive it into the earth, Sathra. Let's see. And then how far is it from you? It's its whole turn. Okay. All right. So this one is going to, I think, go. All right. It's going to move here. And it's going to let out a terrible shriek. So it opens its beak and shrieks. And everyone within 20 feet of it that is not a demon needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Does this count as a magical thing, Adam? Like magic resistance? Does that work?
No one's standing near enough to me.
It does not. It doesn't say that it's a magical effect. No, it's just a horrific screech.
Just a loud yelling
It's
noise.
a loud, scary yell. Yeah.
Was it this one on the left, Adam?
It's this one here, 20 feet of that thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm not within.
I mean,
Yeah. Here,
says
I'll
20
just
feet.
I'll just plop up an aura and you'll know right away.
it says spells and other magical effects, but it's
Yeah, it's not a magical effect. It's just a loud noise that this terrible monster makes.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody in the red, I'll roll for these apes. The DC, which I will just actually.
The aura isn't visible.
I don't
to
see it.
players.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
see
you don't see it? Okay, let me try that. Oh, I always forget that the monsters don't have the same permissions that I set up. Is that better?
I don't think Bigby's hand is affected.
No, because it's an object.
Yeah. Oh,
It
of
doesn't-
course.
I don't have
the Vrock. The stat block says creatures. Yes, creatures only.
I don't have the apes.
No, I'll do
stat
it. I'll
block.
get the apes.
This is con, right?
Yes. Yeah. Ape.
All right, cool.
Ape. Ape.
Ape.
Okay.
So what's this doing?
Bananas.
Well, everybody's there's more rolls than. Then Big B is the only other thing in there. Okay, perfect. So let me just double check. There's a lot going on in this fight. DC was 14, so 2 of the apes are stunned.
One. Wait, they met. Oh, right,
Oh, yeah.
they met it. It's
Need to beat.
Did I say 14?
You have to
Yeah, it's 14.
beat it?
Okay, so 1 of the apes is stunned. Okay, so this ape is stunned. This one down here.
poor
Okay,
ape.
so that's Vrock 1. Vrock 2. This Vrock goes. Lulu's right there, so it's gonna go here and then swoop in. There we go. And it is going to attack Sathra. So beak attack. Miss. Talon, also a miss. Ooh, lucky. Okay. The one over here is going to move in slightly and then is going to use another once per day ability. Just roll a d100. Unfortunately, it does not do anything. Too bad for you.
That's good. I like
Okay.
that.
And then the one that is fighting, the only one left, the one that is fighting Bryn, will attempt to probably just beacon talons for you, Bryn. So, okay, here we go. Talon. I got a 24 for 14 slashing. And then beak attack for 14. So you block the beak, but the talon gets through, slashes down your armor, and leaves you in
like
some considerable pain.
What did this one do?
That was the last one I was about to do. So
Okay.
he's going to use an AOO as well, and I believe the effects radius is, let's see, 15 feet for this one.
It's gonna hit his friend.
Let me see. I don't think they can affect each other with those things. He'll just do the screech as well, I think. So Sathra, Miffles, the ape, and then the hand is fine. Yeah, so we'll just do that. We'll do
What
another-
kind of save? am I
same
making?
save you just made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the other one.
Is
He's gonna shriek as well. The other ability, I changed my mind. I don't want to use
Is
it.
it a different distance than the previous one? Because
Nope.
like
It's 20 feet.
if it's 20 feet, then I would still have to make it.
Okay.
And this ape here, right? Could you put on the 20-foot aura for this guy just to make sure?
Yep, sure. I can just measure it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not in it, or I am in it.
You're not. You're just
Okay.
outside. You and
Yeah,
Sosrovo,
you're outside of it.
I think, are both. Yeah, you're both
Okay.
just. Oh no, sorry, you are in this one.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it looked like.
Yeah, it's 20 feet from the corner. I forgot that they're big. Okay. So yeah, just go ahead and make saves. If you succeed, then you are you're fine. You can ignore it. If you fail, you're stunned.
I'm stunned. What is the stun condition?
You can't do anything. You basically just lose a turn.
17?
17's
good.
fine. Yep, you're good.
EC's 14.
14, thanks.
Roll for this ape. Grape ape fails.
Great.
I'm gonna turn him purple just because this has to be grape ape now. Let's see here. There he is. Beautiful. So purple. So grapey. All right.
Sorry, I think this ape is also in the. If I am, then
yes.
it
If
is.
the corner is out. Yep. No,
Yeah,
that's this
probably.
ape. Okay. So let's roll for this one.
I mean, not that I want it to be
No,
worse.
but yeah, we gotta. There's a lot of interrelated effects.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. That one.
But
that one
barely
resists.
okay.
Okay. Good. And that's the Vrocks. November. Did you succeed at the?
Stunned.
You are stunned.
I am stunned. Yeah.
Okay, so you Oh, if you're stunned, yeah. If you have concentration, it breaks.
Well,
if
then
you
the
get
apes,
stunned.
the apes are gone.
Okay.
Oh, we're dead.
All right. So the apes disappear. Goodbye, grape ape. And then the stunned condition lasts. You can repeat the saving throw. Oh no, sorry. Stunned till the end of the Vrock's next turn. So you just skip this turn. Okay. All right. Lulu, still shouting from the other room, shouts, "Come back here!" and flies around the corner. She's super zippy.
I'm sorry. What is it about stunned that makes you drop
can't-
concentration?
You're incapacitated. Incapacitated means you're unconscious.
You can't take actions or reactions. It doesn't mean you're unconscious.
Stunned creature is incapacitated. So let's
An
look up
incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions. It doesn't say I drop concentration.
I'm looking up concentration. Let me double check. Spells, concentration. Okay.
Because there's no
these are just
damage.
spells with concentration, casting a spell, concentration. Being incapacitated, you lose concentration if you are incapacitated or you die.
Then why doesn't it say that under incapacitated?
Conditions have a lot of like complex nested
there's a
stuff
lot of like
that gets
nested
left off.
crap.
So Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So you're incapacitated, so the apes are returned from whence they came. Lulu is going to fly her little butt over this way. And Sathra, would you rather she take out the one that's on its way back up or help you with these two?
Oh my god, I get to choose?
Well, just
Just
because as she's coming around the corner, she's looking at all three rocks like,
totally.
I don't know what to do.
Pull up the weak one. Like,
Yeah, okay,
I'm
so
sure
you're
I
like,
can't-
that one.
Can't have that much health left. Like,
Okay, so as it's coming up, and it flies right into the trumpet cone. So I'll make a save and see if this thing just turns into a shower of sprinkles. Okay.
Yeah.
Con save at disadvantage.
Lulu getting all the credit for my 108
I
damage.
mean, she's a nasty kill stealer. We know this. All right, 48 plus 4 radiant damage. 19 damage, and that's one more than it needed to die. So away it goes.
Oh my god. Oh,
right.
wait. Okay.
So as it's flying, one more, not one less. So as it's flying up, Lulu comes around the corner, aims her trumpet down, and then boop, and it flies into the cone and just turns to dust and blows away on the Avernian wind.
Each
So
of these things has 120 something HP.
No, because it took half of your arrow damage and then all of the eldritch.
Why would it take half of my arrow damage?
It took the full arrow damage. Yep.
That's so much HP.
Yes, they have a lot of HP. And Lulu looks over at you, Sathra, and is like, I did it. I got one. And so
now
Sorovo.
kill all the other 4 or 5, however many there are.
So Sorovo, it's your turn.
Yep. So Big B's hand, let's do that first.
Punch things.
Yeah.
Oh, I said I was going to make a macro. I didn't do it.
Hand moves.
It's all right.
Since Miffles is stunned,
Yes.
I guess technically I don't have advantage because it's not still harassing it by the time it attacks.
No, I think you do.
Question mark?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think it just applies, and then Miffle's like whether they're there or not.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to check that one.
Yeah.
20 there.
Schmack. Yep.
Schmack.
Big hand. Okay, so that was the advantage. So I'll clear that.
Yep. And that's 48 force damage.
Okay.
Which pretty decent. 23.
Yeah, not
on
bad,
that.
not bad.
Smack. Okay.
And God, we're kind of splitting damage again, which really sucks. I will chromatic orb that same one because it just took 23 and I don't know that anything's taken more than that. It's not still alive. So chromatic orb. Good.
Oof.
Missed.
Magic baseball goes wide. Okay. Anything else, Sostrovo?
Nope, that's everything for me for now. I think back up slightly further into the room.
Yeah, please no. Okay. All right, Sathra, it is your turn.
I think my best option here is to cast Blink.
Okay.
So that when it's not my turn, I'm not here.
Yeah. It gives you lots of mobility.
So I'm gonna spend this turn to cast Blink, and then hopefully not roll terribly every time I need it.
Yeah, right.
So there's Blink for those of you who don't know. And I think that's all that I can do. So
Okay.
I'll just end my turn and make the
See what
Blink
happens.
roll.
Yeah. Okay. So you cast a spell, and then we make the roll.
I am still on this plane.
Okay. So you're still stuck for now. Okay.
tragically.
All right. And that's a concentration spell. No, it is not. Okay. So blink, and it just lasts a minute. So I'll throw it on the order for you, so we can keep track of it. Okay. Bryn, your turn. I think probably we'll do. This will probably be the last turn before we end.
I'll round out the
That goes
turn
back to
order.
the
I
top.
mean, I'm hitting it. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna hit it with my mace.
Yeah, do it.
But it doesn't.
Mason
Yeah.
hand.
Smack
Nice.
it.
Mason hand.
No.
No!
No.
24. Is that
Alright,
like
there you
exactly what I rolled last time?
It's very close. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bryn
12
is
and a
nothing if
27.
not reliable.
All right. Well, and we'll
False,
smite
not
it
reliable, just consistent.
Right. Fair. Okay.
for
Reliably.
another 20 damage.
All right. Cool. All right. So you're just bashing away at this thing, fighting it in the doorway. It's trying to claw you and smash. You hit it in the face with the mace. It staggers.
You know what?
Yeah.
Consistent. That's the important part.
There you go. Okay, cool. So Miffles is stunned, so does nothing. And then it'll be the Vrock's turn, which I will wait to take for our next episode.
You're off the case, Mason Hand. You're a loose.
You're a loose cannon, Mason Hand. If you ever need a fake name for Bryn, I hope that you use Mason Hand because it's too good. It's right up there with Dick Chariot for like good.
I'm gonna write it down just so I can remember it. Mason.
It's even like Flaming Fist. It's just so perfect.
Yeah, right? Mason,
Yeah.
Mason Hand, Flaming Fist PI.
Well, also
Very
like
nice.
Paladin of Helm or whatever.
Oh
like-
yeah, right? Because there's a lot of hands in the Forgotten Realms. Yeah.
Sure are. Now there's
Cool.
another one.
Well,
Creepy box.
that is our episode.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you for coming, everybody. When we come back next time, we will fight our way out of Vrocktoberfest and see what lies on the other side. Or I guess everyone might get massacred.
What lies on the other side is the next encounter that is whatever drove up just now.
That's
was
true. There are ominous.
So, I
ominous
hope you're ready for
motorcycles.
double combat.
Yeah. Well, it took you a few hours to climb up here, so you've got that if they want
Oh,
to try,
all
unless
right,
they can
well,
fly.
okay. All right.
It turns out it was Evil Knievel, and they just launch off a ramp up to you.
Swear.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Well, thank you for coming. As always, everybody, I'm going to let my cast tell you where you can find them on the internet, and then that'll be it for our episode. Dave, why don't you go first today?
Okay. We would like to thank you for coming and watching. As always, I realized that might sound like the cast. That was my joke about having two heads, just so we were very much clear on that point.
Good. Nice.
I'm really glad we're still doing those, and I hope the show is bringing as much relief for some of you as it is for us on the cast. Apart from that, if you'd like to follow my stuff, you can on Twitter at Dave_the_human. And as we said in the pre-show, depending on when I get it, I've promised some Final Fantasy VII streams, and I've fixed my streaming setup so that's possible. So keep an eye out on there for plans. It's forthwith.
Very nice. Excellent. Thank you. Lauren, why don't you go next?
Hello, I am Random Tuesday. You can find me on all of the places online at Random Tuesday. I work on cosplays on my stream. I play video games like Magic and KOTOR currently. That's me. Yeah. Find me on the internet.
Good stuff. Blue Jay, why don't you go next?
Sure. I'm Blue Jay. I do a lot of role-playing games and Animal Crossing right now. You can find me on the episode of Zweihander in about an hour over on Adam's channel. And you can also find me on Friday for the second of a two-part series of Vampire the Masquerade starter adventure over on Gen Con TV. Otherwise, on my own channel, playing Animal Crossing.
Cool. And last but not least, Distracted Elf, if you would.
Hello, friends. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing some multiplayer Stellaris with my dear friend Andrew, who you would know if you've watched the TOA series here on this old channel. And I'm doing some fundraising for Trans Lifeline tomorrow. Is the Trans Day of Visibility tomorrow. So I'm going to be real visible. I'm going to not wear my invisibility cloak.
Good call.
You will see me, in fact. So come on by. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Well, that's it. That's our episode. I guess you will see us again next time. Come on back and find out what happens in this vulture situation.
We all die.
If you can't wait a whole week, there's lots more D&D action on this channel, including Wednesday mornings, Jace Bellerin Must Die, which is probably the next time you'll see me, if this is a channel that you hang out in often. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for more of the same here in hell. That's it for us. Bye, everybody. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.